Bum, bum, bum. Ooh. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Here's what I used to sing to my daughter every morning when she was little. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're all in our places with bright, shiny faces. This is the way we start our new day. And I sang it low so that it wasn't too scary. And yeah, it was a nice way to wake up. So good morning. You know what the funny thing is? I haven't read this thread. Hi Kevin, how are you, Kevin? My love. I don't have any in my. I'm working on the Cash App, Kevin, for you. I don't have that. I need to move money. But anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah. So I'm already a little high. It's true. So I had to make a list. It's my pen. I had to make a list of things this morning that I kept noticing. And so yeah, there's that. And then I haven't read Tina's thread all the way through because I wanted to kind of read it as we go. And I don't know. It's just going to be. I mean, you know how it rolls here in the lounge. It's going to be a little messy. We're going to take our time. Tina may show up just to answer any questions, but I don't want to put. Babe, Kevin, we're going to get you settled. Okay, Kevin, don't you worry. I just don't know how, but I'm going to figure it out. It's fucking unbelievable. Wait, I can't remember what I was going to say. Happy Labor Day for you're laboring. Huh? You're gonna laugh at this. Uh-oh. I'm not sure I want to laugh. I wouldn't laugh at any. Let's see, what was I gonna say? Oh man, it's just like one of those Mondays. Your new office is closer today. Oh, good. I'm glad. I like that. Hi, Ted. How are you? Ted, thanks for becoming a member. I don't know if I said thank you for that. I really appreciate that. You get a money back guarantee. You even thought you had a start date of today. Oh my God, Kevin, are you kidding? Well, you know what? I think it's better to find out that you don't have to work than it is to find out you do have to work. So maybe that's okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Kevin. It's gonna be. You're welcome. Becoming a host. Yeah, I'm gonna try and increase the amount of content. Well, I want to because I'm not forcing it. I'm just trying to organize myself a little better. Oh, I know. Welcome to my life, right? Shit. 3 hours. Kevin, I feel like I want to call you an Uber. Happy Labor Day. Oh, my beautiful Kevin. I love you so much. I'm so sorry. You're here now. I mean, you're here with us. I'm going to make that 3 hours go like. I'll stay with you on your walk home. How about that? I'll sing in your ear on your walk home. Oh, sorry, Kevin. Okay, so let me get my shit together here. Let me have a little sip of coffee. There you go. You've got some entertainment. I can't guarantee the quality of the entertainment, but it's there. All right. let's figure this out. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Ted, I'll increase the incoming flow of graphics. That sucks. I know. Kevin's having a good morning, Muskie. Kevin needs some community right now. He needs us. He needs us. Kevin, put your Cash App in the chat, okay? Can you put your Cash App in the chat? Kevin could use a little help right now. That'd be nice. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull up all this shit that I need to pull up. And then we'll go from there. Okay, let's see. What do I have? I have a lot. Okay, first of all, I need to share this thread that we're going to go over. Well, actually, wait. First, I want to go over some of the other stuff that I wrote down this morning. I just swallowed my own spit. Sorry. I just really am enjoying this. I didn't even start with any music. I'm sorry. I'm not really in it. I'm not really like, my brain is not engaged. I'm in it. I'm here. I really want to be here. My brain is not really 100%. But we know that, right? Tina said if I come here, I can have some trivia, some super delegates. Super delegates. It's true. You can. It's true. That happens. Okay. All right. I better get to work. Okay. So first of all, on my list of shit I noticed this morning. Okay. First of all, can we talk about Burning Man? What the fuck is going on? First of all, Burning Man is too close to Wicker Man, which is one of the most disturbing movies in the history of cinema. So that's number one. Number two, you're telling me that we are probably going to have to send in fucking National Guard to get these entitled hippie, well, they're not hippies. I'm a hippie. They are not hippies. To get these entitled bros out of their muddy man cave. Okay. I mean, I care. I didn't have my Neil Katyal going to Burning Man. Oh, did he go? Well, I'm actually not shocked. I guess that tracks. But I don't like, we're now going to have to send in the military to rescue these morons. I'm sorry. And I don't want anyone to get hurt. I understand someone died too. I just heard that, but I don't know how. They didn't say how. But yeah, okay. So Burning Man is dumb. Burning Man is dumb because it's too much like Wicker Man, Golden Parachute, crime, think, custom spray paint tip using Peruvian flute band impersonating rich kids. Yeah, well, it's not. See, that's Coachella. You got to be careful. Some of this is Coachella. Some of what you describe is Burning Man, but I think Burning Man's a little older than Coachella. But Coachella is more, you can burn an effigy in your mind, right? Coachella is more rich kids. This is more Neil Katyal. No, I'm just kidding. This is more, I feel like it's older. I don't know what generation it is, but I feel like it's a little bit older. I can burn an effigy in my yard. Yeah, we could. Yeah, they couldn't even burn the actual Burning Man because, you know, Burning Man, they burn this wooden man, just like in Wicker Man, by the way, where people die. One of the most disturbing films. I'm telling you right now, don't watch it. And I'm a horror fan, and I say don't watch it. But yeah, they couldn't even burn their man. I mean, that's a sign. That's like a climate change sign. Toxic mud. Ooh, it probably is. It's lime. Wait, Muskie, are you being serious? And I'll blare drum music. Well, then you'll. I mean, I love art. Don't get me wrong. I'm all into the art installation concept and kind of crazy middle of the desert art. Like that to me, as long as you're not ruining the. Wow, Muskie, I did not know that. Whoa. My mind's being blown a little bit right now. So, like, oops. Oh, hi. Hi. Would you like to get over here? No. Okay. You want to go behind the computer? Okay. Okay. Is there something really urgent going on outside that we need to know about? I guess there is. What was I going to say? Anyway, and religion. Kidden. And religion in court. Yeah. They say it's art when the cops and fire truck get here. I'll say it's art. When you burn an effigy of Burning Man on your, oops, that's not the right way. Okay, can we share the desk? I don't know. I'm just wondering. Can we share it? Do you think you're actually going to get that bird through the screen? Because you're not. You're not. Okay, so that's Burning Man. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Okay. Now, Nazis. I watched a little bit of the Nazis in Florida. First of all, they're ridiculous. Okay, these dudes that dress up like this are they're fucking ridiculous. And I couldn't help but laugh at like the uniforms. They all have the same t-shirt and they all have the same mask and they all have the same knee. And it's kind of like, you know what? I need this. I'm sorry. This isn't about you. They just are so fucking mama's boys, right? Like they are, and I don't mean that. Well, I do mean it in a bad way. Let me tell you, my first fiance was a mama's boy, and I liked his mom. I ended up hating him because he was so fucking pathetic. But anyway, sorry, I digress. That's the one who brought his father with him to break up with me. We were engaged, okay? Who brings their father to break up with their fiance? Anyway, he did. He did me a favor. Don't worry, I'm happy. Believe me, he did me a huge favor. Thank you. But what was I talking about? Oh, Nazis. Oh, Nazis, right. So Nazis, I mean, these little tiny groups of dudes have always been walking around places. I'm glad we're noticing them now more, or noticing them at all. But we also need to mock them mercilessly until they are so ashamed of being in public dressed like that. I think humiliation for when they're out on the street, obviously be careful about violence, but I think humiliation is an effective weapon against all the hate, I think. But I don't know. Anyway, so that's Nazis. Oh, I just also saw like a shooting at a baseball game, the White Sox game or something. This is the problem. See, I think that, like people like around people who think that Mike Flynn is really super dangerous and influential in these communities tend to be dismissed because Flynn is, he's not active military, although his brother is. like blah, blah, blah. He's just a dude. He's just the same as all the other dudes, spouting bullshit on the web and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think he is like the other dudes because if you watched the 4-minute video that I posted yesterday, which I might watch that if you guys don't mind, because it really is one example of the multiple appearances that Mike Flynn has been making on right-wing media to talk about armed rebellion. And while I don't think Neil Katyal, Melissa, good morning, Melissa. Neil Katyal told people to wrap their feet in plastic bags before walking out of Burning Man, which is a good way to destroy your feet. Yeah, I don't, is it because, well, wow. God. We're going to have to spend a lot of money to rescue those rich people. Yeah. We should just rescue all the people that got like a free ticket. Mainstream media and all. Yeah. Yeah. Flynn is extremely dangerous. He was also incredibly involved in the push. Yeah. To the insurrection. To dismiss what he is doing is suspicious. Yeah. It's so, yeah. Anyway, let me, I'm going to play that because, hold on. Let me get to my channel. Because I want to play that. Why am I on twice? Okay, never mind. Okay, so Marie. Hi, Kevin. We always have money for rich people. Yeah, just not everyone else. Thank you, Kevin. Fucking bingo. Oh, I can't highlight it right now, but I'm gonna. Okay, hold on. All right, this is 4 minutes. I'm just gonna play this. Hey, get out of there. Get. That is not where you're supposed to be. Thank you. Sorry, that's very loud.
This is great, guys.
Actually, you kind of need it loud, unfortunately.
Again, Flynn has been going on all these talk shows and whatnot. Military's the only way. Think about that, guys. Commander in chief, chain of continuity of certain events and whatnot. And listen to what Flynn says, guys. It's almost like he's speaking in Q. Check it.
Can you hear it?
August 30th, 2023. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Done in 30 on August 30th.
Go back to the big question, right? Which was what you guys have been asking.
I'll BRB.
Why? Because you're looking at a guy who knows where the bodies are buried metaphorically. Okay? So
guys, he's a walking.
I know exactly what rugs to look under. I know exactly what things to shut down. Because there are, in this country, there are billions and billions and billions and billions times whatever you want to throw in there that are spent on bullshit, on things that no longer matter to the security of this country, and we should be totally refocusing on sort of this world that we're going into, because the longest serving empire in the history of the world, I think, is still the Islamic Empire, like 1,200 years. How did they survive for so long? And you can go back and look at all that and go, okay, wow, they lasted a long time. Why? So can the United States of America, can this empire, how much longer? Can we go another 250 years?
Let's hope.
You almost have to ask the question of why? Why do they still fear me? Why? Why do they fear me?
Well, you said because you know the bodies are buried.
I already laid that out. They fear me because they have zero control over me. And my control mechanism is based on what's best for our country.
Boom, baby, right there. Do Anons understand what is going to be unleashed, guys? Again, what do we just went through, guys? Control. How do you know the future? How do you predict it? How do you know it? Boom time. Control, guys. That's simple. That comes from a military general. That was a military general that was under the helm of Renegade, guys. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Figuratively, of course, is General Flynn, guys. Again, version 2.0, expanding thinking has intensified, and he was called upon many months ago. Get ready, stay wealthy, stay healthy. We're going to need you in the next month and a half or so, which is for 2024. Is that a VP role? I don't think so. Maybe an NSA role, maybe an FBI, DOD, something at the top, guys, something that's going to fit him well. And again,
that's DOD, I believe.
Yeah, this is not another 4-year election, and we're watching The Apprentice kind of play out, guys. Who's going to be on the boss's side? Who's going to be against them? You will get called out, and you will be dealt with, guys. And here is Flynn back in the day, sitting next to Vladimir Putin, however you want to say it, guys, enjoying some wild seafood here. And again, guys, who knows where the bodies are buried? There are alliances. There are good guys. There are bad guys. There are good guys that are perceived to be good that might be bad, and vice versa. This is psychological warfare at its finest. Up is down, left is right. And guys, what if? What if China, Russia, and others are coordinating with POTUS to eliminate the New World Order? What if, guys? And these are those drops, Grasshopper. The what if drops.
The what if cue.
I love the what if drops. Because the what if drops always mean yes. Okay, guys? Spoiler alert. Whenever it says what if, it means yes.
Well, I almost made it back before it stopped, but there you go. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, so let me see what we're doing here. Can you believe Marjorie Taylor Greene said the Burning Man Festival was an act of... Yes, I can believe that. But God, I have to wash my hair. It's time. It's time to wash your hair. What was I going to say? Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, that's what they always say, right? Like, they always say that. They always say this was an act of God and those evil people need to, fucking go away. I don't know. Whatever she says. Bob Swagger. What? Master Grifter. I was sitting in my mother's basement. I informed him I was driving my supercharged Camaro after leaving the house I own while watching him beg for money to fix his truck. Really? His truck is broken? But it's new. Didn't he just buy that? I don't get it. I guess it was last year. Anyway, I don't care. He can sit on it. He can eat his truck. Okay, wait. First, I'm going through the list of things I got, I noticed this morning. So I'm not done yet. Hold on. Oh, Haiti too. There's an emergency. He blew the engine. How do you blow an engine in a new fucking truck? I mean, how does that happen? Oh, anyway, I don't care. I don't care about those people. They're getting everything that they deserve and hopefully more. But other than that, I don't care. Haiti is, they've just put out another urging for American citizens to leave Haiti. And back in the day, hi, Pepper, not outing oil or some other, not putting oil. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. But my God, he's supposed to be like I don't know what he is. He's a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, screw him. Hi, Bob. It's good to see you. Let's see. So, Haiti. So I I spent like I think it was like a week in Haiti, because we had a program down there because we worked with Haitian organizations who were trying to end Restavek, which is child domestic slavery, very prevalent in Haiti, where children are generally abducted from all over Haiti and put in domestic servitude or sex trade. Mostly domestic servitude is a larger issue, but I'm sure there's sexual abuse happening as well and trafficking. But Restavek, which is the term for that, is really prevalent. And so I spent a little time in Jacmel and the region outside of Jacmel, which is very hilly, mountainous, kind of big boulders, a really interesting place. Very cut off. So like we went up to a remote village where one of our programs was working with families and had actually reunited some families, which was wonderful. So I visited this place and talked to some of the people, and it was just really mind-blowing, actually, in terms of how people live remotely, cut off from really everything. No running water, no hospital, no antibiotic, no nothing. And no vehicles really to speak of, maybe one or two per village. And to drive down to Jacmel is hours and over incredible boulders. I actually have film of us driving in Haiti. I need to put that up because I just never encountered anything like it's literally like those commercials where the cars are climbing boulders. You know what that is? You know, have you seen those commercials where they're like climbing boulders? That literally is how it was to drive. And I don't know, it was really a mind-blowing experience because you really saw how people that life is just so fucking easy for us. It's so fucking easy. It's so fucking easy. And Haiti is just such a beautiful country, and it really kills me that we've ruined it. We've not helped it. I was talking to a friend of mine who's Haitian, and he runs one of the programs down there, and he's like, we used to have a rice export industry. That was huge for us. And then America started buying rice from somewhere else. And it ruined the island. So I think there are ways to help countries like that, but we just don't do it because it's not economically advantageous. So, well, we got it from somewhere else and we got it cheaper, Muskie. So, yeah. So anyway, I think this is another reason to me that the anti-globalist bullshit is so fucking dangerous, because it's like, now you don't understand the need to protect the European front. Now you don't understand the need to help countries be healthy and economically stabilized so that we don't have a migration issue. You know, like, but that's investing in people, and it's not for some people it's not sexy. To me, it would be incredibly sexy. I mean, I would be hot for that. But I guess for, capitalists, it's not that successful. It's not that enticing. But anyway, so that's Haiti. Please think about Haiti. God, this fucking breaks my heart. Anyway, okay. So the other thing is I also spent some time on the YouTube streets yesterday morning. And also suppresses terrorism. Yes, it suppresses terrorism when you have people that are not upset. This is why the radicalization of Americans is so disturbing, because we don't understand. And it's not that I want to fix the economics of the domestic terrorists. Believe me, those guys are just fucking whiny. Okay? There's a difference. There's a difference between truly being oppressed and being free, like these morons are. Totally different. Okay. Anyway, so I spent some time on YouTube streets yesterday morning, and I don't claim to understand everything that's going on because there are parts of it that I was not a witness to. But let me say something to all the chatters out there. You are creating drama for streamers by spreading rumors that aren't true, getting your feelings hurt over shit that you need to let the fuck go of. And you also need to fucking, I'm so angry. I saw people, okay, here's what I saw. I saw someone say a rumor yesterday because they got an anonymous email from someone, or an email from someone they didn't know, who said so-and-so said such and such about Suchichu. Now, I don't even like the person they were talking about, okay? I think he's a tool. I think he's no talent. I think he's an idiot. I think he's way over his skis. But what you don't do is accuse someone of saying something about you in a fucking public chat when you don't even have the facts of what that person said. You are all ridiculous. Get your fucking heads out of your asses, get off of YouTube, and live your life. Because one of these days, someone's going to sue you. So get your fucking thoughts straight and stop treating this like it's days of our lives, okay? It's the lonely grannies out there who can't keep their fucking, like, get a vibrator, okay? The time that you spend on YouTube, you should be masturbating. It would do you a lot more good. Okay? So if you can't handle YouTube, get the fuck off of it. That's it. Tina! Lonely is the only person I know who gets how. Right? It's so bad. Anyway, so that's my message to the YouTube streets. Fucking own your shit and stop spreading rumors and trying to take, I don't even like the person that you're accusing, okay? I think he's an idiot. But he's just an idiot. So stop trying to, I just think it's gross. And I think what happened the last few weeks has been gross. I think that people need to pick a lane. But it is disgusting to me that you all are so busy trying to shit on each other that you stop someone from, like, streaming. That's bullshit. And I won't stand for that. That's bullshit. So all you chatters out there, fucking check yourselves. That's it. Now back to our regular scheduled programming. Oh, I'm so done. I'm done, Muskie. I'm beyond done. Muskie, let me tell you something. It got back to me that someone said I laughed during an exchange. They couldn't tell me what exchange. They couldn't tell me where I laughed, but they thought they would go ahead and undermine me to someone else as part of this whole little mishmash. I'm not, like, fuck you. You don't fucking know me. And clearly that person was just trying to shit on me. So fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you all. Anyway, so that's it. I got through it, line. There it is. All there. Okay. All right. Let's go to Tina. Tina got up early for this. Okay. So I'm fucking grateful as fuck. All right. Let's go ahead and do this. I said what I was going to say. I said what I said. I said what I said. Okay. Wait. Where am I? Tina. There we go. Okay. Tina, I'm going to be honest with you. I have not. Is this the thread, Tina? Like where you go under like this? This is the thread, right? Hold on. Let me just do this. Oh, man. Okay, whoops. I gotta get rid of my Steam. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of that. I gotta get rid of this. Oh my God, I have everything open. Quit iMovie. Are you really gonna do this? Okay, good. And then quit Steam. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. I didn't. Okay, you could shut down a little faster than that. Oh my God. Okay. Where are we going here? Oops. Oh, I see. Okay. What I'll do is I will move this. Will I will move it to a new window. Yeah, and I'm gonna move that window over here. Okay. Oh, this is perfect. Okay. Wait, first. Pepper. I know, I am too. Oh, whoops, this isn't the right one. Wait. Okay, here we go. All right. Tina. Let me tell you a little something about Tina, Stand With Ukraine. Number one, if you're not following her, which I think you probably all are, please do so, because this woman, her threads are epic. I mean, they're just epic. As we're about to witness. No, no pressure, Tina. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So this is, again, I haven't read this. So, all right. So this is the document, and I have the document pulled up, but it is quite long. All right. So Tina, case closed, even if Biden did what they accuse him of. I tell the story that George Washington actually, when he was president, had two desks, one for his business. This is the Trump deposition out of New York. Do you have to tell us that this show is part of the trivia settlement? Yes, this is part of our structured settlement for rigging trivia. I admit it. All right. Okay. I could have had that. Wait, one for his business and one for running the country. I could have had that. If you look at Biden, he certainly does business and politics at the same time, but I felt I wanted to be a legitimate president. I didn't have to be from the standpoint of even using the word legitimate. I think it's important that you, if you're running the country, you're not doing business. But there was no legal reason that I understood that you had to. But I thought it would be a good thing to have a trust. Really? You didn't listen to any of the news stories that we had? Lord, this is going to be brutal. So that was a lengthy answer. Tina, nope. When I bought Mar-a-Lago, I paid $8 million for it. And today I think we're going to be bringing in people that will tell you it's worth $1.25 billion, $1.5 billion, maybe more than that. But I bought it for $8 million in 1985 or so. Nope. Tina. Complete delusional liar. Okay. I have a thread up for a thread. This sounds even worse when you read it out loud, doesn't it? Oh my God. Do you? Okay. I know, laugh my ass off. I believe we have substantially in excess of 400 million in cash, which is a lot for a developer. Developers usually don't have cash. Hi, insider. She does so with golden thread. Indeed. Well put. Developers usually don't have cash. They have assets, not cash. Watch my assets. Here's my assets right here. We have, I believe, 400 plus and going up very substantially every month. My biggest expense is probably legal fees, unfortunately. Hi, Melissa. Mar-a-Lago is worth about 25 million. Don't know how he got 1.5 billion. I don't 70 billion. 70 billion. That's okay. But we have a lot of cash. We have great assets. We have great assets. And we have a very valuable company. Very valuable. He saved NFTs. I did an NFT deal the other day. Everyone is saying, for a few months ago, everyone was saying NFTs are dead. And it was dead. People are saying, what are you doing in NFTs? It's sold out in less than a day. Dan Scavino bought them all. It was supposed to take 6 months. It sold out in less than a day. He really believes this. I think he actually believes that. I think he actually believes that. I do. I do. Seems a bit high, as in Adderall. That's true, because he probably is on Adderall, right? His legal fees are being paid by the cult. Yeah, exactly. Trophy yellow. Valuable on his insurance forms, not on his taxes. Exactly. This is going to be the story of Alvin Bragg. But if I wanted to show you a good statement, I would have added maybe 10 billion or something for the brand. I didn't put the brand in there. And I actually had an appraisal of 2.9 billion. And that was a long time ago. And we're going to go through each. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, bitch. We're going to go through each. I still can't believe anyone would want this psycho as a president. Well, did they? Did they? And companies have brand values, big brand, big. Many companies have brand values bigger than the company. That's probably true. That's true. I believe that's true with me. I think my brand value is probably my greatest asset, even though it gets tarnished. Like suing me, like this suing me. Maybe it gets hotter. He really believes that too. Although, evidence to his point. As you know, dude, that's why you're in court. Do you remember how much profit you personally earned from that transaction? Object to the form. No. It was substantial. And by the way, substantially more than we have listed in the fight. Substantially more than we've listed in the financial statement, as you know. Ah, he just admitted it. Can we sit for, I need to smoke some pot for a minute. Hold on, I'm coming back. Oh, I'm not even on screen. Oh, I am on screen. Sorry. Alina always objecting to this thing. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, he just admitted it. Everyone thank Ted for the background. This is the Halloween background that Ted made for the lounge. It's so beautiful. Thank you, Ted. Okay, so let's keep going. I'm going to just keep smoking while we do this. Okay. All right. Face palm. Let's start there. The first sentence reads, we have a great company with fantastic assets that are unique, extremely valuable, and in many cases, far more valuable than what are listed in our financial statements. Right. Is that what you were talking about before? The properties are Mona Lisa properties? Yeah, absolutely. The next sentence reads, I could sell them for a lot of money to some people. There would be people that would, I'm going to say, buy them. Oh, whoops. Oh, yeah. Okay. Only the best. So it's your position. Many lawyers have come to me and said, you have the greatest worthless clause I've ever seen. How can they be using this statement against you? What? How can they be using this statement against you? Mona Lisa properties. I don't even get that. Hi, Spot Man. How's David? Is David doing okay? I got to get to you guys. I haven't gotten to you yet. All right. Here we go. From the day that statement was put in, which was from my first statement, actually, it stayed pretty much the same. I've never felt that these statements would be taken very seriously because you can't open it up and right at the beginning of the statement, you read a page and a half of stuff saying, go get your own accounting, go get your own this, go get your own that. What the fuck was that word salad? So why did you get these statements prepared? I would say maybe more for myself, just to see the list of properties. I think more for myself than anything else. Sometimes an institution would like to see. It's true. Like this institution, the court. More face palming. If this statement was more for yourself than anything else, why are the values then still below what you think they're really worth? Because you write it, because I didn't. Ms. Cosba, Miss Haba. Oh, I read that wrong. I don't have my glasses on. I'm trying to like be pretty. No, I'm kidding. Miss Haba. Adaption. Mr. Kize. Is it Kize? Kize? Objection to form. You write in Exhibit 2 that, in many cases, they're far more valuable than what is listed in our financial statements. I think that's true. I think that's true. I think they're actually more valuable in many cases. I think they're more valuable, quite a bit more valuable. If you look at the values today of this property that you have down, obviously, the blah, 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 blah. More face palms. Okay. Using various valuation methods. So I'm trying to understand if your point is that the current value of these properties as of June 30th, 2014 was actually higher than is listed here, or if your point is that the properties have gone up in value, meaning that they're worth more all along. It turns out, Mr. Keyes, object to the form. It turns out that they were higher than we have listed. Time has proven that is the case because some of these properties are in my butthole. Oh, whoops, here we go. Spoiler alert, he doesn't. The fact is, I didn't need banks for the most part. Like you'll look at, I'm sure you'll get to see this. But if you look at my cash now, with all the money that I waste on legal fees and all of this stuff that we're all going through, I thank you very much. With all of that, I have over 400, fairly substantially over 400 million in cash. That's just cash. That's just cash. Not for long, babe. Not for long. Jury field trip. If you go into those units, I'm sure you haven't. But if you did, I'd love to take the jury for a little trip. They're the most beautiful rooms you've ever seen. Everything is brand new other than the structure. I left the structure in many cases because I'm an artist like that. It's in my butthole. And she's now moaning to Clayburg that she can't do this anymore. And she's not even halfway through. And just but if we sold Doral as a group, so you are going to let me go on hoping that I make a mistake. And that's okay. That's the way it is. Perry Mason. Perry Mason. Oh my, I'm gonna read chat for a minute. This is really Tina, you're so good. You clipped like the best fucking parts. Come on. When he has to sit through a trial, he may just stroke out. Ivana's burial spot is worth billions to the Saudis. Oh my god. Did I do something good or bad? No, you did something great. I said thanks for the background, Ted. The Samhain background. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay. Hey, I caught Biden making a mistake when he said he's gonna close up gas at the end of the debate. I said that was Perry Mason. Unfortunately, the election was rigged. So here's the story. Are you ready? When the banks saw this, and when they saw all the money that they wanted to put it up. But I could have gotten other banks to put it up too. I don't think so. Which bank? All right. Yeah. High five. High five. Vladimir. Very happy, man. I'm very. Oh, look, and here comes the little dumpy guy behind me. I'm going to be like, really, I'm gonna screw. We're gonna make money off of this little orange turd, aren't we? Yes. Okay, we are. All right. I guess my question is trying to understand then what are the factors? What are the factors you consider when deciding? I'm going to just invest my own cash versus I'm going to borrow some money from the bank. How do you decide between those two? A lot of it is just my instinct. I mean, sometimes they throw money at you. Sometimes they don't. Like right now, banks are tighter. Very tight. As you read, tighter than my butthole. As you read, it's tighter. Interest rates are higher. merging because of me. Who's going to read a statement like this that doesn't mean anything? And the accounting firm, which was a different version of, they kept merging because of me. Everybody said, okay, we have Trump as a client. So they ended up merging. This accounting firm was a different name, different everything. And a lot of it was because they had Trump as a client. And then because of your lawsuit, they dropped me. Okay. Is that Mazers? Okay. He's stuck on the perfect clause. Perfect is the enemy of his good. Now, if the clause wasn't in, I would have been much more interested in looking at it if I had a clause that said, this is very firm number. We feel it's worth this. We feel it's worth that. This is different. You have a thing that says beware. This is like a beware clause. It's the other thing they call it. I have no idea what he just said. Am I stupid? Okay. This is not me posting the wrong screenshot. I love you. I have attorneys that are saying this is the strongest worthless clause they've ever seen. Who told you that? Check to the attorneys. This is the best screenshot. Mazers dumped him. This is the best screenshot, Tina. Well, no. I said hell no. Well, no. They say it's the strongest worthless clause they've ever, meaning they say the document is worthless. And yet I keep reading myself about in your leaks when you leak, but they say that the document is worthless. I'd like to get past the second paragraph. Tina, you are so amazing. Tina, all the glory to Tina. When I say reading this is brutal, I'm not kidding. He rambles and rambles and rambles. He does. Oh my God. I can't wait for this fucking trial. Thank you, Fonnie Willis. There are exceptions to GAAP that are discussed here. Is that what you're saying? GAAP is the general accounting principles that are used for audits and for your accounting principles. It's how you account. Sorry, that's the best I can do. Well, this whole thing is an exception to GAAP. Okay. So you're entitled. You can have exceptions. You have to document exceptions, but you can have exceptions to GAAP, but you have to document them. And they're not the rule. They're the exception. For that reason, that's why they call them an exception. Because they're not full of exceptions. Okay, I'm just wondering, and if you look at the last sentence, that knocks the hell out of everything. I just want to get through this sentence that we're on here. So I'm asking that sentence. That sentence is negated by everything else in this worthless clause. My God, this is a nightmare. Mazars dumped him when the NYAG. Yeah, right. It's right, Kevin. So I am a worthless clause. Michael Cohen, take a bow. That's why when you say that a bank borrowed money on my statement and yet they read 2 pages worth of stuff saying, don't rely on this. It says, don't rely on management. Don't rely on. So he got a management letter. Okay. Right in here, as clear as you can. And very good lawyers have told me that this is a case should not have been brought because of the worthless clause. They said, I can't believe it. And when people read this clause, they say, how the hell could they have sued you and put you through this stuff? Because you believed a guy named Michael Cohen, who is an absolutely gorgeous man who smells like pine needles. Only on page 138. Well, back to the perfect clause. I don't even know what the clause refers to, but we'll get to that. Disgrace, because you have the strongest worthless clause that they've ever seen, a disclaimer clause that they've ever seen, and you're being sued on a document that disclaims it right on its butthole. Pine needles, I don't know, because actually it's from a movie. It's from it is your fault, Clay. This is your fault. Thanks for showing up. It's from Bridesmaids. Smell like pine needles. Anyway, but you're talking about numbers. Okay, wait. Another spoiler alert. Socks were not knocked off. There are no socks knocked off in this section. But you're talking numbers that have gone up in some cases many times. I mean, I won't go into specifics now because why should we give you early warnings? But when we testify, we're going to have numbers that are going to knock your socks off. The numbers are your numbers are incorrect. They're actually so low, your numbers. Are they taken from his tax returns? Someone find me the old lady, Jim. Object to the form. I'm just telling you that what it's worth. I'm comparing what it is today with what it was projected to be, because an appraisal is really a projection when you think of it. It's a projection of what it's going to be. No, actually, an appraisal is not a projection. Different. Very different. There it is. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. That's right. Tina, well done. Tina, you're amazing. Can I just say honestly how amazing you are? You are so beautiful. You're really beautiful. You're really beautiful. But this is the strongest worthless clause anybody has ever seen that I have spoken to, and I'm talking about lawyers. And when they say that we had this clause in here, they said, how can they sue you for a statement that's inaccurate? Because you said that you would be providing inaccurate statements. I think that's it. Is that it, Tina? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, Jesus Christ. You're so good. Of course it's not it. With nothing. Oh, wait, with nothing. They came up with nothing. And as a friend of mine said, you must be the most honest. I'm going to say he's one to say most. Oh, I love you too, Tina. You must be the honest man, most honest man in the world. I believe 11 million pages, but a lot. And you've gone over them, and so have others. This isn't the same 11 million pages. Why does he always have 11 million pages? Sorry. She really is the bomb. Why does he have 11 million pages of everything? All right, whatever. And you've gone over them, and so have others. And friends of mine have said, you are the most honest person in the world. Which friends were that? Jeffrey Epstein? Did he say that? Scaramucci? Did he say that? I don't know. Who said that? Your son? Did he say that? Now I can really see. All right. Trump has satisfactory title to all owned assets, and there are no liens. There are no liens? Really? Or encumbrances on such assets? Or has any asset been placed as collateral? Has been pledged as no asset has been pledged as collateral other than those noted in the statement. Did you ever become aware of any instances of assets having liens or encumbrances that were not disclosed to Mazars? Whoa, this is the Mazars statement. I'm sorry, Tina. This is the Mazars statement. Trump has satisfactory title to all owned assets. This is Mazars said that. What the fuck? I've been in multiple audits. Like I've done audits for 22 years. This is huge. Mazars should be out of fucking business. Not that I know. If you could pick up Exhibit 3 again, that's the 2014 Statement of Financial Condition. So I could see this happening too if New York got its act together and was able to solve the crime problem, the tax problem, et cetera, et cetera. I think this house would be worth like a number like this, actually. You mean the crime problem in, well, the crime problem in Bedford, New York? SA always on his mind. Oh, Saudi Arabia. How high did you think it was? I don't know. I just felt, I'm not even sure I looked at it then. I just felt when I saw it, I thought it was high. But I could see it as a whole. I could see it. If this were sold to one buyer from Saudi Arabia, I believe it's the best house in the state of New York. I think it's probably the most, one of the most valuable, could be the most valuable house. Now it's contingent on New York coming back. Oh my God. China's fault. Okay, good. Mr. Randall or Mr. Lane says, hope Rona, please. Not Rona. Enclosed, please find the Forbes cover, which looks amazing, and the 2 cover stories that go with it. Please share with Mr. Trump. Thank you for all your time and attention over the past week. We know how things have been crazy busy there. Best, Randall. Oh, Randall Forbes. Okay. I know a little something about Randall Forbes. I know a little something about Randall Forbes. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And I just want to see if this must have been before the Chinese bought Forbes. Oh, well. Oh, my God. Old lady Jiffer. But do you know what the difference was between the $291 million valuation and your $125 million valuation? Well, I think the 291 was high, but it may turn out not to be high in the future. Oh, yeah, in the future, yeah. Hi, Spot Man. Where's David? Is he okay? That would be a yes. Do you know why the price of Seven Springs was removed from this 2015 statement of financial condition? To what? Why is there not a price listed? I don't know. I really don't know. I never noticed that. It wasn't to disguise the drop in price from 291 million. Oopsie. Oopsie. Here we go. Oh, John Barron. Uh-oh, here we go. Now they've moved on to Mara Loco. Good guy or bad guy? Okay. Broker talk. Okay, I think I do. I think I do. And how much do you think it's worth? 1.5 billion. And what's your basis for that? Just broker talk. Just brokers talking, shooting the shit, talking home values, let's see. This thread is worth at least 20. Tina, this thread is worth at least 20 billion for Clayberg making me read this shit. Pay me in NFTs because Trump totally saved the entire NFT scheme. It's true. Forbes. Yeah, Randall Forbes. I know. I met him. I know a little bit about him. Scotland number. Okay, now we're into Scotland. And if you look at the page, row G has the valuation as of 6/30/2013, and down at the bottom it's valued at 191 million. Row H has a valuation as of June 30th, 2014, and the valuation is 435 million. Where's that? It's down at the bottom, Mr. Keith. Here it is. Oh, I see. Thanks. Another spoiler alert. No, 11 billion. And so I just wanted to find out, do you have any recollection of events taking place that would have caused the value of the club to increase from 191 million to 435 million? Oops. Whoa. And now you know, if you didn't already, why he hates windmills. Oh, wait. So it went from that. Okay. Recently, a very unattractive wind turbine was put up right on the golf course at Royal Aberdeen Golf Club. The club did not know about it, and the members are going absolutely crazy. I said, you haven't seen the worst of it. Wait till they turn it on and you hear all the noise. They do not know what to do. They do not know what was going to happen. They were blindsided. Do you remember talking about this issue in front of the Scottish Parliament? I sure do. I talk about it in there. Oh my God. Oh yeah, they're okay, so Kimberly Guilfoyle had a whole segment on windmills in the ocean. She did. And then there was a space on it. They mentioned it's crazy. Yep. But I think it's inappropriate. They're doing it all over the United States. They're doing it in our oceans. They're probably killing whales, which are washing up to shore, which nobody's ever seen before. Many whales are coming in where they're doing it up in New England. I only have doggy coins. Yeah. Do you take doggy coins, Tina? Not Dogecoin. We mean doggy coin. Doggy style coin, where you get fucked in the ass. We're back to New York, and I'm just going to assume that this is going to be the perfect lollipop clause. Are you permitted to do a condo conversion under the ground lease on the building? Yes, I am. It's called a locally pop. It's a lollipop. We got a lollipop clause. What the fuck is a lollipop clause? I don't think there is enough weed. You really don't have to read this shit to see how badly they cook the books. It's really true. That is so true. Flip over to the next page. It says that the prospective market value as of November 1st, 2015 is 260 million. So I'm wondering if the Trump organization was in possession of this appraisal and why the building is valued at 530 million in June 30th, 2015. So it went from 530 million in June to 260 million in November. No doggy coins for me. And what the fuck is a lollipop clause? Thank you. I don't know. This is, I think, about Juniper because of the rambling, tears flowing. I had a conversation with Benda. You know, Benda, the guy from, he's the robot on whatever that cartoon is. What's that cartoon that Bender is? Isn't he the robot? Anyway, he was so scared. He was crying. He was so scared. I couldn't believe it, actually. Can you tell me more about that conversation with Mr. Bender? Was that in person or was that on the phone? No, just in person. It was in person. Do you remember where that conversation took place at your office? I think so. Yes. Hold it. Let me see. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Futurama. Thank you, Muskie. Thank you. Because that's all I can think about is Futurama. I'm just trying to get whatever your recollection is. They left because you scared the hell out of them. That's why you left. What? Yes, you win trivia. Everybody gets 1,000 points. Hold on to them till next week. Iron Giant. This shit is like reading a therapist notes at this point in the thread. Page 299. Tina. I don't even know. Bender is the Mazar dude. Oh, okay. Because the tears, right. Well, he knows his career's over. So if it's not, it should be. So check Mazars. I did a book recently. It sold through the roof. I'm doing another one and it's selling. It's going to, but it started already selling through the roof. And it's all brand value. That's a lot of brand value. There's a lot, but not when it's tax time. It is very little. There's nothing really. It's not real. Okay, I'm back to reading this mess. Look at, you had 2 days. I don't even know if it took you 3 days. We're going to find out. Okay, I'm back to reading this mess. He spent the entire deposition claiming he doesn't even factor in his brand value, and they hit him with this on page 300. The third bottom on the bottom says, the market value of Trump properties may be higher than comparable properties due to the Trump brand premium. This value is already reflected in the market value of the properties and does not considerably fluctuate due to external considerations such as tax rates, employment levels, or other macroeconomic indicators. I'm trying to understand what that means, that it's already reflected in the market value of the properties. They're on Pebble Beach. That's the property where you gave an easement over the driving range. I did easements, and if you want, I'll take them back. I don't care. You know what I mean. I'd love to take them back. They're more trouble than they're worth. Are you considering taking any of them back? No. I would if you want. I'll swap them. If you're unhappy with them, you know what I'll do. I'll just take them back if you can do this. Not a big deal. What the fuck? After 3 pages of him rambling about Doral, this lawyer is exhausted. They did a job across the street. It's a tremendous success. It's not as good a location as I have. We have a much better location. They did a job across the street that is a tremendous success. And in terms of value, that's where the big value is, because it's, instead of golf, you're selling condo units at millions of dollars. Sorry to have taken us down that dark path, but I just wanted, no, but I think it's important for you to know, because you're saying that my statement isn't worth much. And I'm saying my statement is worth more than what you ever had in your butthole. I'm the only one that got sued for scamming a bank. Well, not yet. Well, do you know? And you're saying I'm scamming banks, even though I paid them back in full. I'm the only one that's been sued for scamming a bank, and the bank got all their money back in full. And not only didn't I scam banks, my statement is much better than what is in your butthole. The perfect clause. So Deutsche Bank is requiring you to say that your financial statements are true and correct in all material respects. Is that correct? Deutsche Bank is asking for, hold on, I just want to, did you say in all material respects? Yes. Mr. Wallace, yes. Mr. Kaiser. Sorry, I missed that. Okay, thank you. Deutsche Bank is asking for my financial statement. I gave them my financial statement with the clause in it that we've been talking about all day, talking about all of these things in my butthole, along with the security clause. He is so fucking insane. He is so weird. He is so fucking insane. People come to me, lawyers come to me and say, how can they possibly do this to you when you have that clause? And it was the strongest one they'd ever seen. Deutsche Bank wants my financial statements. We gave them financial statements. They read that clause with a fine-tooth comb and they accepted it. That was it. I wasn't hiding anything. They accepted the financial statement. That was my financial statements. A lot of people have a clause like that in their buttholes. The deposition should be titled The Perfect Worthless Clause. That is great. That is a really fucking great title. I'm sorry. What had the same clause? They accepted the same clause that they knew exactly what they were getting. They were told to go out and get their own accountants, their own appraisers. Basically, they were told that this thing didn't mean anything and certainly didn't mean much, and they accepted it. So he, in his appraisal, it basically said, don't rely on anything. Is that what it is, Tina? Trump's attorneys are going to have to do everything they can to keep him off the stand. Yeah. Although I don't think he's brave enough to take the stand. I really don't. I don't think he wants that public scrutiny. You know what I mean? I mean, in the Georgia one. He might take the stand in the federal, but I don't think he's going to take it in the states where he has to be on camera. They accepted the same. Oh, wait. And you know that. You know what? They got their money back in full and they're not complaining. You're the only one complaining. Instead of stopping violent crime, you're complaining. Yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, appraisals. Okay, so he hands appraisals over to people and says, that, you know, you can't really rely on this. How's that happen? Okay, wait. I need a coffee break. I'm coming back. I need a coffee break. Tina, this is insane. Really. This is fucking insane. Worthless Claus should be his middle name. Thank you. That's it. Siegfried! Seriously. Seriously. The Worthless Claus. That's actually the fourth movie in the Santa Claus. All right, it's cool. The fourth movie in the Santa Claus series should be The Worthless Claus. The Perfect Worthless Claus. I'm just taking a minute, Siegfried, because I need to smoke some weed. Every day is a winding road. I get a little bit closer. I get a little bit closer. All right, let's go back. Let's get back in it. Tina can do it. I can do it. All right, here we go. So I'm trying to understand your position again. It's that your statement does not need to fairly present all aspects of your financial condition because of the provision. That's so terrible. Object to the form. Objection, objection, objection. Mischaracterization of his testimony. Blah, 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 blah. Heads blowing up. Corrupt, LOL. Miss Hobbit, yeah. The way you phrase that is corrupt. How is it corrupt? It's corrupt. Because first of all, you heard the answer 15 different times today, and I know you don't like hearing it. But what you people are doing, no wonder everyone is leaving New York. They can't get out of here fast enough. Why don't we take a tab up your butt hole? Under item 1, well, actually above item 1, it reads, the undersigned guarantor hereby certifies to lender as of the date hereof, that as of June 30th, 2014, the reporting date. 1, financial information as applicable, and all of these have been checked. Attached is guarantor's statement of financial condition as of June 30th, 2014. There is another couple of bullets that I'm going to skip, but after that it reads, the foregoing presents fairly in all material respects the financial condition of the guarantor at the period presented. That June 30th, 2014 guarantor's financial statement, that's the same financial statements that we were looking at earlier today, correct? Object to the form. Well, it's a different statement, but it's got the same basic clause on it. So yeah. Here comes the consulting piece. And who do they do consulting work for? Basically, the organization, me, the organization. Okay. And so why is there a separate organization for the kids to do consulting for the Trump organization? Because, object to the form. When we do deals, it gives them an incentive to bring deals into the company, in addition to what they do during the day, and they bring deals into the company, etc. How is the work they were doing for TTT, Triple T, different than the work they were doing just day to day for the Trump organization? Yes. How was it? How is it different? Old lady jumping in. And they'd go out and they'd meet people. They'd bring people in to bring deals into the company. And when they did that, I'd give them a bonus. It was a setup, I think, by lawyers. Various lawyers set that up, as I understand it. I'm not familiar with it. But it was really an incentive for them to go out and bring deals into the company. Off the record, this is the butthole of the buttholes. I would generally say yes. Mr. Trump, before she left to join you in the White House, did your daughter Ivanka have an apartment at 502 Park Avenue? Yes. And was that a lease she obtained from you? Yes, I don't know. Let's see. Which apartment are we talking about? She had one. There was a penthouse apartment that she bought, I think, right? She bought? Okay. Well, I just want to know. Do you know if you provided her with a lease of that apartment as a gift? Not a gift. Objection. I don't know if it's market rate. I mean, she was my daughter. I probably gave her a good deal. She's my daughter. Okay. It's just one big washing machine. Trump is a washing machine. Trump is a Maytag. Okay. He's a Maytag. Okay. Listen in, Siegfried. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Do you know if it was compensation for work that she was doing for the company, this lease for the apartment? Objection. Okay. It ends with them asking him if they axed the calculator man. Woo! Tina, you're amazing. I'm going to do some other stuff, but okay. After Mr. Weisselberg pled guilty to tax fraud, did anyone at the Trump organization go back and review his work on the statements of financial condition? Worthless washing machine. Yeah. I'd have to object to the form. I'd have to ask my son about that. Eric, you know, the dumb one. But you're not aware of anything. I'm not aware of it. No. Do you know if anyone has been hired to replace Mr. Weisselberg? I do. As the chief financial, they're looking now. Probably we can give you an answer in a week. So he just basically has no. Oh, bravo. That's right. Bravo, Tina. Let's make sure we have your handle in the fucking comments. Everybody right now, Twitter, if you're not, you must. And in fact, follow Clay too. The calculator man, the calculator man, the calculator man. The calculator man is sitting his ass in Rikers. I want Trump to have to sit in Rikers for a minute. Oh, Tina, you're so, I would do that anytime. I will lift your work as much as I possibly can. You do amazing fucking work. So there's that. Yeah, that was really good, Tina. I never would have read that. And some of those are like priceless. Rikers, yeah. I want him to go to Rikers. I think that actually would be like one of the most beautiful justices, right? For like the Central Park Five and all the stuff that he's done. All the stuff that he's done. Oh, Kleberg too. No, he's not. I don't think he is. Oh, wait, maybe he is. Kleberg, you're just Kleberg, right? Why am I not? Oh, wait, I'm looking right the fuck at it. Ninja Clay. She's also a fucking amazing follow. Yeah, Tina and Clayburg are. I'm so lucky to have smart friends. I just am really lucky about that. I really am. I'm so grateful. Yeah, she is fire. You're all fire. I think he's probably close to being out, right? Like he has to be out soon. I think he has to be out soon. No, you're amazing. No. you. We love each other. He was only in there for 4 months, right? Or something. How long was he supposed to be in there? I know. Jim, he really should. No, I think, I mean, I don't usually believe in like just like straight up punishment, but I actually think that we might have our first exception. I might be okay with him. He got 5 months in January, so he's out. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah. I can't imagine what it's like for investigators either. Yeah, I'm all for Rikers. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be that way because I believe in prison reform and I believe in all of those wonderful things, but I also think that you know, I don't know. I bet he has a 6-pack and dreadlocks. He might have a. I wonder what his prison tattoo says. That's what I wonder. Hi, Oomph. Oomph, you missed the reading. Dang it. It's not too long. You could go back at another time, but Tina's thread is amazing. Actually, I should let me put the thread in the, so you can go right to the thread. I'm sorry I didn't do that earlier. This is the thread we just went over. So if you go to that thread, you'll see Tina's amazing information. Like Trump balls. Yeah, it's not too long, but anyway, whenever. It's pretty good. Okay, so what else was I gonna do? I have some other things. Wait, what else was I gonna do? How long is this? This is 7. What is this? Oh, can I read a little bit of this? Can I read a little bit of hold on, let me show you this. Oh wait, let me go to the where's the document? Oh, I kind of want to go over this too. Damn, I have a lot of shit I need to go over. Okay. Oh, here is the actual deposition that Tina provided too. This is the, oh, Kevin. This is the document. The videotape deposition document. I'm going to save that. How do I, oh, I can, yeah, okay. Trump Depot. Done. Okay. So I can get rid of that. All right. Now I want to go to something else. Boom, boom. Let's see. What am I sharing? Okay. I think I want to go to this. All right. So this I noticed the other day. This is the post-hearing brief from Fonnie Willis, Fulton County, about the Meadows hearing, right? So I'm gonna, how big is this? Can you read it? You can't really read it. I wonder, why can't I? Oh, never mind. I'm so dumb. I'm really dumb. I'm really dumb. Let's make it a little more. Is that too big? That's going to be too big. Ah, that's too big. Okay. And now you can read it. Okay, excellent. Okay. I don't know if I'll get through all 17, but I'm going to just jump around here. Okay. Following an evidentiary hearing on August 28th, the court directed parties to submit additional briefing on a single question. Count 1 of the indictment, pertaining to Georgia's Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, contains a number of overt acts attributed to Mr. Meadows. Would a finding that at least one, but not all of the overt acts charged occurred under the color of Meadows' office be sufficient for a federal removal of a criminal prosecution under blah, blah, blah. For all of the following reasons, the state of Georgia responds to the answer. This is no. finding that at least one but not all of overt acts attributed to the defendant would not be sufficient. A finding that at least one but not all? Oh, so that's the argument? Interesting. At least one but not all. Okay. Okay. Wait, what? Okay. Oh, all right. So they're disagreeing with the actual rule? That seems very strong. The defendant's prosecution commenced not from any individual overt act, but from his entry into a conspiracy. Not from his, okay, whatever. The defendant's prosecution was not commenced against him for or related to any act under color of his office. The defendant's prosecution commenced because he knowingly and willfully entered into an agreement to violate the Georgia RICO Act. The overt acts alleged in the indictment, as with any indictment charging a violation of a conspiracy statute containing an overt act requirement, are required to be pled only to demonstrate the conspiracy was actually at work. This seems a little risky. The defense, well, I mean, but I'm not a lawyer, so let's not question Bonnie Wills, shall we? The defendant is charged in count 1 with agreeing to join a conspiracy that planned to overturn the lawful results of the election in Georgia. A scenario where at least one, but not all of the overt acts attributed to the defendant in count 1 of the indictment occurred under color of office would not be sufficient to authorize removal because it would not demonstrate that his agreement to join in the RICO conspiracy described in count 1 was an act for or related to his duties as chief of staff. Crucial difference between a single overt act and joining a conspiracy. Oh, interesting. Count 1 charges the defendant with a violation, conspired and endeavored to participate in an enterprise to violate OCGA, blah. Subsection of the statute is violated when a person together with one or more persons conspires to violate any of the provisions of subsection A or B of this code section, and any one or more of such persons commits to any overt act to affect the object of the conspiracy. The code provides that it shall be unlawful for any person employed by or associated with any enterprise to conduct or participate in directly or indirectly such enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. The question posed by this court contemplates finding that the defendant has committed at least one overt act under count 1 outside of the color of his office. This would be more than what is required to demonstrate that the defendant's participation in the RICO conspiracy. In contrast to a substantive violation of the OCGA, conspiracy to violate that provision does not, as the language of subsection C makes clear, require that a defendant commit or agree to commit 2 acts of racketeering activity himself. A person is guilty of RICO if they knowingly and willfully join a conspiracy, which itself contains a common plan or purpose to commit 2 or more predicate acts. While Georgia, unlike federal RICO, requires one of the conspirators commit an overt act, there is no requirement that the defendant himself commit an overt act because each actor in a conspiracy was responsible for the overt actions undertaken by all the other co-conspirators in furtherance of the conspiracy. There's tons of data on this. I lick Trump balls is the write-in and protest voter campaign slogan, as well as Kevin McCarthy's office stationery header. I lick Trump balls. That's good. I do. I need an NFT immediately. It is well settled that when individuals associate themselves in an unlawful enterprise, any act or done in pursuit of blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's, we got that. Okay, conspiracy is a partnership in crime. Blah, blah, blah. Good, good, good. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. This is all the backup. The indictment alleges that the defendant conspired to violate the RICO statute, and the state of Georgia submitted evidence substantiating the allegation. The defendant coordinated and actively participated in a phone call between co-defendant Donald J. Trump, lawyers for Mr. Trump's presidential campaign, and officials from the Georgia Secretary of State's office, during which Mr. Trump berated the secretary to overturn the results of an election Mr. Trump had lost. On the call, the defendant used the inclusive pronoun we to refer to the information possessed by the campaign and its lawyers, and he directly disputed the secretary's investigatory findings regarding the number of dead voters, insisting, I can promise you there are more than that. Earlier, the defendant contacted another Secretary of State official and inquired whether the Trump campaign could speed up a signature audit by providing funding directly to the state. He tried to pay them to speed it up. Wow. And after insisting that he did not play any role in the coordination of slates of fake electors throughout several states, the defendant was forced to acknowledge under cross-examination that he had in fact given direction to a campaign official in this regard. I need a minute. I just need a minute. I just need a minute. I just need a minute. Oh, Marky Mark. Marky Mark. You weren't so fun. Wait. That he had in fact given direction to a campaign official in this regard. Specifically, the defendant wrote an email, which he said, we just need to have someone coordinating the electors for the states. This country is so fucking dumb. Sorry. And attached a memorandum written by co-defendant Kenneth Cheesebro recommending the organization for slates of presidential electors to meet and cast votes for Mr. Trump in states Mr. Trump had lost. The defendant has not disputed his participation in these events. He simply argues that all of them were within the scope of his duties and occurred under color of office. The court thus has undisputed evidence of the defendant committing the act at issue in count 1, conspiring to violate Georgia's RICO statute by joining in a common plan to overturn the results of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. A finding that some of the overt acts attributed to the defendant occurred under color of office would not suffice to show the defendant's joining in the conspiracy was itself under color of office or even related to it. Let's see what this says. The court has ample basis not to credit some or all of the defendant's testimony from the evidentiary hearing. In addition to the contradiction highlighted above, the defendant said repeatedly that he misused the pronoun we, an assertion that would materially alter the plain meaning of several of his relevant statements. The defendant also repeatedly insisted that he was merely trying to land the plane and achieve a peaceful transition of power, a statement clearly belied by his participation in the campaign's attempts to overturn the outcome of the fucking election. Case familiar to this court, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we got the case. 11th Circuit held that any attempt to secure a bribe fell within the agent's duties as a federal officer conducting such an investigation, and the prosecution was therefore barred by supremacy clause immunity. If the agent and others had been charged with conspiracy for their coordinated plan to seeking to bribe a local official, the case would have been subject to removal because the act of conspiring in that case would have clearly been committed under the color of agent's office. Wait, what? Here we go. A local prosecutor was considering filing charges against an FBI agent for the agent's activities related to an attempt to bribe a local official. The attempted bribe was part of a joint federal state investigation, but that's a setup. The 11th Circuit held that any attempt to secure a bribe fell within the agent's duties. Oh, okay. The circumstances of the, okay, good. So now I've got it. Pronouns. Yeah, it's all about the pronouns. The circumstances of this case are easily distinguishable. See, the problem is if fuckers like this had less problems with pronouns, we wouldn't be here. Like, they need to get the fuck over themselves. By the way, trans lives matter. Thank you. Black lives matter. I'm going to remind people. I'm going to remind the haters that are watching. Okay, The defendant conspired not for any purpose related to his duties as chief of staff, but to transform Mr. Trump from a losing political candidate into a winning one, no matter what the outcome of the election had actually been. The conspiracy did not involve a common plan seeking to fulfill a federal objective or enforce federal law. It sought to fulfill an openly personal goal of Mr. Trump's that the defendant acknowledged he shared. Finding that, as part of the conspiracy, the defendant may have committed one or even several acts that fell within the color of his office would not demonstrate that he was being prosecuted for an act for or related to his office. That's a good point. That's a fine, good point. That is because of the gravamen. I've not heard that word before. Gravamen. Whatever, of the charge. The relevant act as contemplated by section blah, blah, remains conspiring itself. and there is no evidence before the court demonstrating that this conspiracy in which the defendant participated and admitted it sought to further some authorized or lawful federal interest related to the defendant's office. As a result, the answer to the court's question is no. A finding that some, but not all of the defendant's overt acts were committed under color of his office would not suffice to authorize removal of his case. Wow, that's good. A single reference in Mesa v. California stating that regarding the presence of a federal question, if there be a single such ingredient in the mass, it is sufficient. I don't know what that means. You probably heard Judge. Yes, I did. Oh, gravamen. I don't think I heard it. The defendant cannot demonstrate that he has a colorable federal defense. In the scenario outlined in this court's question, the defendant would not be able to raise a colorable federal defense. Such a defense is required in order to secure removal. In the context of removal, colorable means plausible. The defendant has attempted to raise a defense of the Supremacy Clause immunity, which requires him to both show that he was performing an act which he was authorized to do by the law of the United States, and that in performing that authorized act, he did no more than what was necessary and proper for him to do. Hi, peace, love. In this one, in the 11th Circuit, a defendant's claim of Supremacy Clause immunity is negated by any evidence that they acted out of personal interest, malice, actual criminal intent, or for any other reason than to do their duty as they saw it. A finding that some, but not all, overt acts occurred under color of office would not suffice to authorize removal of a conspiracy to violate our RICO statute. By contrast, finding that some of the defendant's overt acts did not occur under color of office would affirmatively defeat his attempt at removal because it would make it impossible for the defendant to plausibly raise a complete defense of Supremacy Clause immunity to count one. Here's the other thing I heard this morning. And I heard it from, I think it was Glenn. Who's the Glenn guy who's a lawyer? Who's Glenn? Glenn. What's his name? Anyway, he said this morning that it still is a state case. So the risk isn't that it would become a federal case and be able to be pardoned. I mean, it could be like a Glenn Kirshner. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much. Glenn, wait. So he said this morning that it's still a state case. It's just tried in a federal setting. So he can't get a, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's Glenn Kirshner. He can't pardon himself for this, or can't be pardoned because it's still technically a state charge, but he can, there is a risk of the immunity piece. So anyway, but this actually is reading pretty well. I'm not a lawyer or a judge. I don't even play one because that's illegal. But yeah. Okay. Let's continue. As noted above, the question posed by this court contemplates a finding that which is more than required to convict defendant under count one. This is because the state of Georgia does not need not prove that the defendant himself committed an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy, but only that someone had committed such an overt act. That's interesting. If the federal case agent had been indicted for conspiracy, he still would have been able to remove his case, even if held responsible for the overt acts of all the other. This is because those overt acts would all have been no more than what was necessary and proper. Oh, okay. I don't know if that's the best case, but anyway. Georgia law. When a defendant is charged with conspiracy and also separately charged with a single overt act alleged, the fact that he was found not guilty of the charge involving the overt act does not foreclose a finding of guilty based upon the conspiracy where there is sufficient evidence of the commission of overt acts by others in furtherance. Oh, he's fucked. He is fucked. Sorry, that was loud. The state of Georgia's case would be much stronger than that. The person who committed an overt act would be the defendant. This would put the required showing under Neagle that he did no more than what was necessary and proper for him to do out of reach. Any supremacy clause immunity defense premised on the argument that some, but not all, of the defendant's overt acts fell within the color of his office would be incomplete and insufficient, because a defense applicable only to individual overt acts does not function as a defense to a violation of this thing, of my butthole. All right, that's too long. We can't read that. Given the weight of I was hoping we'd get more deets, but we did get a little bit of detail, which is great. Okay, let's see. This is all legal. Supremacy clause to hold it plausible. I want to find out more dirt. I want tea, bitch. Come on, court. I don't mean Fawny. I meant the court. Fawny's fine. I mean the court. Simply put, makes it illegal for any person to conspire or endeavor to violate. To violate section, one must either commit an overt act to affect the object of the endeavor or conspiracy, or a co-conspirator must commit such an overt act. Well, that's pretty clear. To violate, the state of Georgia must prove that some co-conspirator committed an overt act. This scenario in the question is posed by this court contemplates the defendant himself as having committed at least one overt act, and there's a bunch of quotes. Such a finding would demonstrate that the supremacy clause immunity could not function as a complete and therefore plausible defense because he did stuff outside of the color of his office. Thus, if the court finds that any of the defendant's overt acts were not committed under color of his office, the defendant cannot raise a colorable defense of surprise. Surprise! The judge that was randomly is only 30. Oh, well, let's hope he's smart. The defendant sees no distinction. The scenario contemplated by the court is in its order seeking additional briefing, distinguishes among the overt acts allegedly committed by the defendant, suggesting that some may fall under the color of his office while others may not. Let's see if we find out any of his other acts. I want to see some overts here. Show me your overts, Mark. All of the alleged conduct as to Mr. Meadows relates to protected political activity that lies in the heartland of the First Amendment. Well, but it's a lot more than talking. I'm playing this on surround and smoking a bowl, yelling, he is fucked. He's fucked. Let's see. The state of Georgia has already submitted arguments to the court regarding the interaction between the defendant's admission, the prohibitions applicable to him under the Hatch Act, and the scope of his duties as chief of staff. However, the state observes that the defendant has characterized the gravamen of his own conduct, all of his conduct, as questionably political activity. Conclusion. The defendant was indicted not for any individual overt act, but for entering into a conspiracy to violate RICO. Defendant must raise a colorable defense, but he's not. Because he's not. Even if the burden on the defendant seeking removal is permissive, it is not non-existent. So there. Scalia, what? Thank you. Fani Willis is a queen, actually. So there. Okay, well, that was that. That's great. I have more. I'm not done yet. I mean, I need some coffee, but I'm not done. I need a minute, though. Wow. Wow. Well, we got a little juicy tidbit. I have another thing. Oh, I have more. You don't know. I have more for you. I have the, I'm not going to say this right. Is it interest of Amici? Is it pronounced Amici in this context? Interest of Amici. Let me show you what I have. Let me show you what I got. Sorry. I'm being silly. Okay. Is this? Yeah. Okay. This is what I have. I found this too. This is interest of Amici. It's the former judges. It's the thing Luttig participated in recently, and it was submitted. I think specifically against Meadows, but maybe it's addressing the larger issue. My hair is in my eye. Hold on, I gotta see my see which way my hair goes. Which way did my hair go? There's so much closing in. Yeah. This is really good. There's so much closing in the three that the Hillsdale was complaining about right at the beginning are, oh my God, I can't read. Okay, wait, I can't read that. Hold on. I haven't, oh, you haven't seen this yet? Okay, good, because I haven't seen it either. All right. So this was submitted to support support Fani Willis, I think. Okay, let's make it a little bigger. There we go. So everybody can read along. Interest of amici. Oops. Oh, okay. Okay, well, stop it. Okay, look at all this shit. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's why. All right. Amici are former judges, prosecutors, and state and federal executive officials with experience in both state and federal court, including experience with Federal Officer Removal Statute 28 U.S. Code 1440, Section 1442, as well as with respect to drawing the line between the official and political activities of the president and other senior executive office holders. As such, Amici have an interest in the proper division of responsibility between state and federal courts, as well as in the just enforcement of criminal laws. This is 28 pages, so I might jump around a little bit. Thank you for trying. Sorry for the too long, didn't read. These are three. Oh, yeah. No, it's fine. Introduction. The Constitution confers upon the 50 states a compelling interest in prosecuting in their own codes criminal and offenders within administrative federal elections. Okay, so federal elections are really important, and you should not get rid of them. In conceiving our federal system, the framers insisted that the fitness and competency of state courts should be allowed in the utmost latitude. Oh, Harmeet Dillon. Oh, I hate Harmeet Dillon. Fucking act for America. Act against America. That's what I call it. And perhaps no counsel for party authored this brief. This is us. We wrote it. The clearest example of traditional state authority is punishment of local criminal activity. To preserve that long-standing tradition, the Supreme Court has recognized a strong judicial policy against federal interference with state criminal proceedings. In keeping with that strong judicial policy, it's not easy for me to say, judicial policy. Removal of a state criminal prosecution to federal court is permitted by the Federal Officer Removal Statute only where a federal officer both, one, faces criminal charges for conduct arising under color of his office, and two, identifies as a colorable federal defense. Because neither of these elements is satisfied here, the court should remand this case to the Fulton County Superior Court. The conduct charged here by the Fulton County District Attorney, interference by Mark Meadows and Jeffrey Clark with the 2020 presidential election in Georgia in order to aid Donald Trump candidacy, bore no connection to any duty of Mr. Meadows, Mr. Clark's, or Mr. Trump's office. Neither the president nor anyone else in the executive branch has any duty to superintend or participate in a state's selection of its presidential electors. And there's no plausible basis for Mr. Meadows or Mr. Clark to claim supremacy clause immunity, protection under the First or 14th Amendment, or any other federal defense related to the charges. Finally, the purpose of the federal officer removal statute to protect federal operations by preventing retribution in state court for locally unpopular exercises of federal authority would not be served by removal here. To the contrary, removal would be perverse, as this prosecution arises from interference with state government operations and seeks to vindicate Georgia's voice in a federal election, the very contest from which federal authority flows. This is so beautiful. You know, I understand, you know, sometimes like lawyers, but my gosh, sometimes the writing is really beautiful. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me. All right. Mr. Meadows and Mr. Clark were indicted for electioneering conduct unrelated to any duty of their offices, period, full stop. The Federal Officer Removal Statute provides that an officer may remove a state prosecution only if it is for or relating to any act under color of his office. That requirement is not remotely met here. Mr. Meadows and Mr. Clark are charged for their efforts to pressure election officials in Georgia to award the state's electoral votes to Mr. Trump in the 2020 presidential election, as well as for supporting similar pressure applied by Mr. Trump himself. None of that conduct was grounded in any official duty of either Mr. Meadows' position as White House Chief of Staff or Mr. Clark's position as, an idiot. An idiot. A fake lawyer. No, he's probably real. Indeed, neither the Constitution nor any other source of federal law affords these office holders any role in the selection of a state's presidential electors. To the contrary, the executive branch is deliberately and understandably walled off from that selection process. Thus, there is no basis for removal. A. The defendant has the burden of proving by preponderance of the evidence that the requirements for removal jurisdiction have been met. Historically, defendants invoking the federal officer removal statute have had to show a causal connection between the charged conduct and asserted official authority. In other words, the prosecution had to be based on or arise out of conduct the officer performed under authority of federal law in the discharge of his duty and only by reason thereof. So there. Maryland v. Soper. Read it. Look it up. In 2011, Congress amended the federal officer removal statute by inserting the words or relating to in the phrase or relating to any act under color of such office. While courts have disagreed on the precise effect of that amendment, every court that has applied the amended statute has agreed that it permits removal only where a case is at least connected or associated with acts under color of federal office. That includes the 11th Circuit, which interprets the phrase relating to as requiring at least a connection or association between the charged conduct and some official duty. Courts also agree that the connection between the charged conduct and official duty may be too remote or too tenuous to support removal. And in a criminal case, as here, a defendant seeking removal must make a more detailed showing of the required connection owing to the more compelling state interest in conducting criminal trials in the state courts. That makes sense. Neither Mr. Meadows nor Mr. Clark can identify any official duty bearing any connection to the conduct for which he is charged. Both are charged with efforts to manipulate Georgia officials who had roles in administering the presidential election in their state. Mr. Meadows for attempting to, attempting to manipulate the Georgia Secretary of State and the Secretary's chief investigator, and Mr. Clark for attempting to manipulate the governor, Speaker of the Georgia House of Representatives, and the President pro tempore of the Georgia Senate. Local. And Mr. Meadows is also charged with attempting to infiltrate a signature match audit taking place in Cobb County, Georgia. What does this say? Mr. Clark is wrong to assert that his notice of removal removes not just the Fulton County action itself, but also the special purpose grand jury proceedings that preceded the indictment. The only action pending against Mr. Clark is a criminal indictment. As he concedes, the special purpose grand jury, which never charged him with anything, was dissolved on January 9th, 2023. There is thus no other proceeding over which this court could assume jurisdiction. Interesting. So does that mean that he's only being, there's not going to be, like, he's not going to come in later on? Is that what this means? Anybody? Okay, we'll come back to that. Oh, wait. And while Mr. Clark's position qualified him as a federal officer for the purposes of the removal statute at the time of his alleged conduct, this brief takes no position on the unsettled question whether the president or White House chief of staff qualifies as a federal officer under the statute. Well, there's another question. Not every act of or on behalf of a federal officer is an act under color of office. New York v. Trump, hello. Clinton v. Jones, hello. The acts charged here were certainly not under color of either man's office. Neither the president, his chief of staff, nor the Department of Justice has any duty or authority, for that matter, to superintend state election officials' administration of a federal election in the manner alleged. As the Supreme Court has explained, the Constitution empowers the states and Congress to regulate the conduct of federal elections. Right. Likewise, the Electoral Count Act assigns duties to various congressional officials: the presiding officer, the vice president acting as president of the Senate, the Speaker of the House, the senators, the representatives, tellers who count electoral votes, and others. It prescribes no role for the president, the White House chief of staff, or the U.S. Department of Justice. To the extent the Department of Justice has any responsibility touching on federal elections, they do not include superintendents of the state's administration of federal elections, and in any event are not within the offices Mr. Clark held, because he was about trees. Nor did the Constitution's Take Care Clause vest Mr. Trump, Mr. Meadows, or Mr. Clark with any relevant duty. That is because the clause does not extend to government officials over whom the president had no power or control. The clause thus did not confer on Mr. Trump, Mr. Meadows, or Mr. Clark any duty to manage or direct the congressional officials with roles prescribed by the Electoral Count Act. These officials were members of a co-equal branch not subject to the executive branch control, much less to manage or direct state election officials. So there. Kirshner, Tina, you might be behind. And remember to hit live chat. I keep forgetting. I just can't read like complex. I mean, I can read if it, I don't know. Never mind. This is not by accident. Wait, I need a little weed. This is not by accident. It is instead by design that our country has a highly decentralized system of election administration in which states and localities are primarily responsible for regulating and managing elections. Indeed, the framers ensured that the election of the president would be well guarded from any sinister bias. Interesting. Not only by fostering a detached and divided process in each state, but also by excluding from eligibility to serve as presidential electors all those who from situation might be suspected of too great a devotion to the president in office. Wow. I did not remember that's Federalist. Okay. I haven't read the Federalist Papers. I should probably read those, huh? Yeah. Beep, 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 beep. As another court recently, oh wait, what does it say? Oh, the Federalist, blah, blah, blah. Surely, then, the framers did not contemplate the supervision of a presidential election by a sitting president himself or senior members of the executive branch. Well, oh, wait a minute. With state, as another court recently concluded, therefore, Mr. Trump's interference with state election officials cannot possibly constitute executive action in defense of the Constitution. Same goes for Mr. Meadows and Mr. Clark's interference, as well as their support of Mr. Trump's. And it makes no difference whether Mr. Trump, Mr. Meadows, or Mr. Clark believe they were addressing suspected voter fraud or election irregularities in Georgia, suspicions, it bears noting, that have never been substantiated, and in fact have been debunked. As in the case just cited, Mr. Trump and Mr. Meadows and Mr. Clark cannot offer any reason to believe their efforts to expose election fraud were part of any executive effort. Oops. Yeah, just a quick brush up on the Federalist Papers. I do. I need to read them. I haven't read them. Okay. Even if the law were otherwise, such that the president and thus perhaps his chief of staff or the Justice Department, particularly the divisions Mr. Clark headed, environmental law, had a role in ensuring that the state election officials fairly administer the presidential election in their state, that is not what Mr. Meadows or Mr. Clark is alleged to have done. The required connection between the alleged conduct and any official duty would therefore still be missing, or at least too remote to support removal. Mr. Meadows and Mr. Clark are charged for their efforts to change the outcome of the election in favor of Trump. For efforts, that is, in service of Mr. Trump's candidacy. Such conduct constitutes electioneering. It is not connected or associated with any official duty. Ooh, she's got citations for, this is the Amici, I forgot, sorry. These people have citations for days. I just want to read this. Count 28 alleges that on January 2nd, 2021, Mr. Meadows and Mr. Trump unlawfully solicited, requested, and importuned Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to unlawfully influence the certified returns for presidential electors. This communication's purpose was unquestionably to aid Mr. Trump's candidacy. Mr. Trump told Secretary Raffensperger that he needed to find 11,000. I just need you to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we need. In Mr. Trump's words, exactly one more than he needed as a candidate to win in Georgia. The precise tailoring of this demand leaves no doubt that it was made in service of Mr. Trump's candidacy, not of any official duty. What's more, the way Mr. Trump prefaced the demand, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes. Importuned might have been the most common word in the RICO indictment. I still haven't read the RICO indictment. Fuck. I got to read that. Damn it. There's too much. Okay. This is good. I might just continue reading. Like I might just stay on and read it because I want to. All right. exclusively, blah, blah, blah. All three branches of the federal government agree that electioneering is not an official function. Sometimes the birds get on the keyboard. I know. It's the parrots. Blah, 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 blah. All three branches of the federal government agree that electioneering is not an official function. Congress distinguished in the Hatch Act between electioneering activities and official conduct. Okay, I will. Importune times 275. I'll do it. I'll do it too. Watch me. The executive branch's Office of Legal Counsel does not consider expenses for campaign travel to be official expenses. And federal courts routinely distinguish between official and campaign conduct. The 11th Circuit, for example, has held that the management of a sheriff's campaign webpage was not state action because acts of officers in the ambit of their personal pursuits are not done under color of law. True. LOL, Trump can't sell his mugshot on t-shirts or anything else. It's property of the state. Are you kidding? Really, Jim? Really? Is that true? As another court held in a similar context, the opposite conclusion would impermissibly stretch the definition under color of law. The same is manifestly true of the conduct of Mr. Tarr in composing a baldly false representation and importuning. All right, I can see it coming. His superiors to send it in order to threaten Georgia officials is nothing other than election interference for a purely political and personal objective. Mr. Clark is also screwed. And I'm going to really enjoy seeing him just cry. Put simply, this prosecution is not for or relating to any act under color of office, because neither the office of president and a fortiori, no, it's a fortiori. The offices of the White House Chief of Staff, nor the Justice Department, and particularly the offices Mr. Clark held in the tree section, has any duty or even authority to participate in the administration of a state's presidential election as alleged here. And even if those offices had such a duty, the charged conduct would still not relate to that duty because the office of the president has no preference for who occupies it. And the alleged interference with the presidential election in Georgia clearly evinced such a preference. At the very least, any connection to an official duty is too tenuous to support removal. Neither Mr. Meadows nor Mr. Clark can make the requisite detailed showing otherwise. Remand is therefore required. Mr. Meadows and Mr. Clark have no colorable defense. Independently, to remove a case against him, a federal officer must raise a colorable defense arising out of his duty to enforce federal law. The Supreme Court imposed this separate requirement because the court, in its words, retains the highest regard for a state's right to make and enforce its own criminal laws. Yes, as we've said. Whoops. Mr. Meadows, I'm just in a, yeah, okay, yeah, we understand. It must be limited to assuring impartial, wait, what? I actually did. Okay. Prosecutors must be limited to assuring that an impartial setting is provided in which the federal defense of immunity can be considered. Mr. Meadows and Mr. Clark fare no better on this requirement than on the requirement discussed in Part 1 for essentially the same reasons. Their purported principal federal defense is that their conduct is shielded by Supremacy Clause immunity. But no such immunity exists where it cannot reasonably be claimed that the officer's conduct was in the performance of a duty imposed by federal law. None of the conduct for which Mr. Meadows or Mr. Clark is charged arose from or is related to any duty imposed on him by federal law. As explained in Part 1, no federal statute or constitutional provision empowers, let alone requires, the president, his chief of staff, or the Justice Department divisions, like the Tree Division Mr. Clark headed, to interfere in a state's presidential election. The reasoning of Thomas v. Trump is instructive. The court there held that Mr. Trump had no official duty to urge the vice president or members of Congress to violate their own federal law duty to certify electoral votes on January 6, 2021. And thus, he was not immune from liability for such exhortation, because as noted, the president's duties under federal law, including the Constitution's Take Care Clause, do not extend to government officials over whom he has no power or control. Just as Mr. Trump had no power over the vice president or members of Congress performing their prescribed roles in the certification process, so too he and Mr. Meadows and Mr. Clark had no power over Georgia officials administering the presidential election in that state. And just as the Thompson Court explained in the Electoral Count Act prescribes no role for a sitting president in the tabulation of votes of the Electoral College, no statute or constitutional provision permits any role for the relevant federal offices in the administration of a particular state's determination of those votes. The 11th Circuit, and that's the one run by Clarence, has held, moreover, that the Supremacy Clause immunity does not extend to an officer who acted because of any personal interest rather than to do his duty under federal law. That is the situation here. Again, Mr. Meadows and Mr. Clark are charged for their efforts to change the outcome of the election in favor of Mr. Trump. In other words, for their efforts to aid Mr. Trump's candidacy. Because the charged conduct constitutes electioneering, it is, as explained in Part 1, personal and official. Not official. Wow. Okay, let's make sure we're just like. In his motion, he invokes the First and 14th Amendment as contingent defenses should this court reject his claim to Supremacy Clause immunity. To begin with, however, oh my God, my coffee is so good. Oh, fucking amazing. Okay. Wait. Okay. To begin with, however, even if there were any merit to those defenses, and as explained below, there isn't, it is unlikely either could satisfy the colorable federal defense requirement for officer removal. As noted, the Supreme Court has both required officers to raise a colorable defense arising out of their duty to enforce federal law, and held that federal officer removal must be limited to ensuring blah, blah, blah. Okay. Mr. Meadows has not shown that either of his contingent defenses satisfies these requirements. In any event, Marky Mark has no plausible claim to a defense under the First or 14th Amendment. The First Amendment defense ignores the historic and traditional exception to the protection of free expression for speech integral to criminal conduct. That disregard is particularly striking, given that speech integral to criminal conduct is now a standard item on lists of First Amendment exceptions. Voloch, the speech integral to criminal conduct exception. Mr. Meadows contends specifically that his and Mr. Trump's January 2nd, 2021 discussion with the Georgia Secretary of State, which is the subject of Count 28, see note for supra, receives First Amendment protection because it was about public issues of political importance. Public issues of political importance. Mr. Meadows' motion to dismiss at 24, but the indictment alleges that the discussion was part of Mr. Meadows' charged crime of soliciting the Georgia Secretary of State to engage in conduct constituting the felony offense of violation of oath by public officer. Does it get any bigger than that? Truth Social has the end of the week to come up with 300 million. Something tells me they're going to get it. And the Supreme Court has specifically held that solicitation, i.e. speech to induce, intended to induce or commence illegal activities, is undeserving of First Amendment protection. That precedent squarely forecloses Mr. Meadows' First Amendment defense. Done. And equally groundless is Mr. Meadows' claim, motion to dismiss at 25, that his prosecution violates due process because the statutes under which he is charged are unconstitutionally vague as applied to the charges against him. Mr. Meadows offers no actual argument. That's what I thought. Soliciting like a schlap. Oh, there's drama in the schlap world too. Mr. Meadows offers no actual argument, let alone a colorable one, as to why that is so. And it obviously is not. Take, for instance, the conduct on which Mr. Meadows' motion focuses, his and Mr. Trump's discussion with the Secretary of State. As noted, that discussion was in fact an exhortation of that Secretary Raffensperger, the officer sworn faithfully to certify Georgia's election results, to find 11,780 votes to swing the election for Mr. Trump. It's hard to imagine a clearer example of soliciting a public officer to violate his oath. Mr. Meadows' suggestion that he lacked fair notice that such an exhortation could constitute criminal solicitation is simply absurd. It's simply absurd. Mr. Clark's unsupported invocation of the First Amendment fails for the same reasons, and while he lists other defenses, see Clark notice of removal, he fails to discuss them despite his burden of proving that the requirements for removal of jurisdiction have been met. And in any event, they are patently inapplicable. The federal officer removal statute reflects Congress's concern that because federal officers may be required by law to take official actions that are unpopular with local populations, they could face unjustified state charges. But are they unjustified? Maybe they're justified. I don't know. Which could in turn impede federal operations. That concern is not remotely implicated here. The removal statute's history makes this plain. Congress enacted the first two versions to prevent state laws from defeating the enforcement of federal trade policy. The first version was part of an attempt to enforce an embargo on trade with England over the opposition of the New England states, where the War of 1812 was quite unpopular. The second was passed in consequence of an attempt by one of the states of the Union to make penal the collection by United States officers within the state of duties under the tariff laws. As the Supreme Court later explained, quoting Senator Daniel Webster's views, I grew up loving Daniel Webster. Is he problematic? Because I'm going to be really sad if Daniel Webster turns out to be like problematic. Views from the time of the second version's enactment, where the state's courts might prove hostile to federal law and hence to those who enforce that law, the removal statute would give a chance to the federal officer to defend himself where the authority of law was recognized. That remains a core purpose of the removal statute. During the Civil War, Congress revised the statute both to permit removal of actions brought against officers during the war and to improve the capacity of the federal government to collect revenue. Shortly thereafter, the Supreme Court explained that without the removal statute, the operations of the federal government could at any time be arrested at the will of one of its member states. In the latter half of the 19th century, too, then, Congress and the court understood the statute as a means to prevent local populations from impeding federal operations. You're right. Everybody is problematic. God damn it. I mean, we're problematic, right? Damn it. I really liked him. More recently, the Supreme Court has reaffirmed that the removal statute's purpose is to protect the federal government from interference with its operations that would ensue were a state able to arrest and try a federal officer for acting within the scope of his authority. Such interference would flow from the fact that state court proceedings may reflect local prejudice against unpopular federal laws. I mean, really. To say the least, the statute's purpose to prevent interference with federal operations would not be served by removing the charges against Mr. Meadows and Mr. Clark from Georgia State Court. If there is a future. Good point. These prosecutions do not threaten to impede any federal policy or prevent the federal government from carrying out its operations. The charges are not unjustified retribution for a legitimate exercise of federal authority. It is Georgia, not the federal executive, that is responsible for administering the state's selection of its presidential electors, including assuring the integrity of that selection. Allowing it to do so, including by leaving it to the state's own courts to adjudicate any alleged violations of the state's criminal laws, is in no way contrary to, and in fact is fully consistent with, the purpose of the federal officer removal statute. Yes! Conclusion. The Constitution entrusts the administration of federal elections to the states. It deliberately insulates such administration from the president and his staff. Consistent with that constitutional design, the federal officer removal statute does not permit removal here. The court should remand these cases to state court. And we signed it, and it's all of us. I don't know what this is. Appendix. Oh, this is everybody that signed it. Or wrote it, I guess. Amici, curie. I don't know how to say any of that. Amici. Here's the amici. He's so good. He's so good. I love Judge Luttig. I just adore him. I want him to be my grandpa. Look at all these people. Da, 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 da. All right, we made it through that. Fuck yeah. Oh, we are so amazing. We're amazing. Is that a hair? Yeah, we're amazing. Hi, baby. How are you? I was reading the Amici brief, which is I read a lot of things. I read it's this morning we've been reading about Mark Meadows' case. Hi, Jay Rance. We've been reading about Mark Meadows' case this morning. And we just went over the brief that all the justices, like Judge Luttig, wrote in support of remanding his case back to Georgia. And then now I think I have one more thing. Do I? Wait, maybe I don't. Oh, I don't. I thought I had other things. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see. Trying to touch the bell to see some replies. I was doing. Oh, it's probably, yeah. I think I just got a cute. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Why don't we go? Should we go to Twitter and see what's happening on Twitter? Back from your bio break. Back from the bio break. Let's see what's trending on Twitter. Well, actually, I guess I should just shut it down. What does this mean? I guess. Oh, Clay, you guys are so amazing. I have the best friends in the whole fucking universe. I love you. Smash Mouth singer died. Oh, I think I heard that. I think I heard that this morning. Battery at 5. Oh, babe, Kevin, I'm gonna sing you. I'm gonna help you. I just need to. Yeah. It was Tina's. I feel really lucky. No, I never went to Burning Man. I talked about Burning Man this morning. I'm like, I can't believe we're going to have to fucking spend tax money to go get a bunch of rich, middle-aged idiots out of a mud pit. That's why. Zap. And so I'm like, and then somebody, I think Jim, did you say, somebody said the mud is toxic because it's lime? Kevin, goodbye. I'll talk to you later, Kevin, okay? Hit me up on DMs. Kevin, DM me later on, okay? Or I'll DM you. But we'll get this figured out, Kev. Don't worry. What was I going to say? What was I talking about? Burning Man. Right? Airdrop them some ecstasy. Yeah, they what was I going to say? Fuck. Oh, Burning Man. Okay. So that's the thing. I just like, I don't, well, first of all, I'm going to say this. I'll go over my yes, lime. That's right. Yes, musky. You said it was toxic lime. Weird. Okay. So the thing is that Burning Man is like, have you ever seen the movie Wicker Man? It's a terrible movie. Okay. It's a terrible fucking movie. Wait, baby, what'd you say? Make them pay for some of it. I agree. I'm sorry. It's the same thing as it's like Coachella for older people. They're not even hippies. Okay. I'm a hippie. They are not hippies. They are not hippies. Oh, yes, when wet. Why do they have it there? They couldn't even burn their Wicker Man. Okay, so if you have seen Wicker Man, you know that the dude who goes ends up getting put in the Wicker Man and burned alive. Have you seen that fucking movie? Playa dust is 43% silica, so it's toxic. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. I am not. Well, okay. I mean, I guess I am. I think I'm a hippie in nature, though, right? You know what I mean? Like like my brain is like a hippie. But these are like Tesla driving, tech bros, who want to act like they're like arty. Yeah, lots of people are Instagram people, right? Like they're. So I don't know if it's the same. I mean, yes, there are definitely the same people that go to Coachella, but this also has like this art. I can't feel it. No, baby. They fucking listen. Number one, watch the fucking news. Watch the fucking news. Watch the news and watch the weather report, right? Like watch the weather report. They have shrimp somewhere in an old warehouse of Zima and ecstasy crates. Airdrop them Zima. Where's the White Claw? See, White Claw is this generation's Zima, just so you know. Watch the weather. I don't understand. I don't understand if you're going to camp in the middle of the fucking desert. If I'm going to camp in the middle of the fucking desert, I am going to make for fuck sure that I know what the weather is going to be. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Zima, the worst. Mad 2020. I remember that. I don't think I ever drank that. Baby, did you ever drink that when you were, when you were younger? Because I don't think any of us would drink it when we're older. But did you ever drink that Mad Dog 2020? I never drank that. I think we deplore them as hypocrite posers with a wasteful party, but they merit the same rescue. You're right. God damn it, oomph. All right. Fine. And I don't want the artists. I mean, the artists are there too, and they're stuck. I don't want them to be stuck. I feel bad about the artists. I'll feel bad. I want everyone to be saved. God damn it. Yeah. Well, Wicker Man is scary. Dude, I was looking into this last night and found a video from a guy who said on his channel wasn't normally about news type stuff. So I went to see his channel and holy shit. Oh, the movie's terrible. I hate that movie. I never drank Mad Dog 2020. What did I drink? I drank I loved me some Malibu rum. Boy, did I like that. I like that with Coke. Gruesome social fertility magic. Really gruesome. He flies with like a damn fan and lawnmower. What? Oh my God. California coolers. Yes. Definitely. Definitely drank the wine coolers. Like definitely did that. I really don't think they're all stuck there without food and water. Lots of people brought massive amounts of supplies. Yeah, and I think they're fine. And some people have gotten out. It's really, you just need a 4-wheel drive. That's what they said this morning. It is bad. That's pretty badass. It'd be scary though, right? Like that would be scary. When you die, like you fall. I hated that Wicker Man movie. I love YouTube though. I think YouTube's great. But yeah. Anything happening today? Is there any it's a holiday, isn't it? The Smash Mouth thing we're doing. They might be letting people out on the roads today. I heard it was gonna rain again though. Oh, you sent me the link. Hold on. Did you send it on Signal or DMs? Hold on. Go here. Oh my God, you guys, I'm so sorry. I don't Signal. Hey. Girl Roof for life. Wait, let me get it off of Signal. But his Burning Man video is classically hilarious. Okay, let me see. Oomp's asking, hey gal, what should I read? Oh. Look at I can't show you it, but it's really funny. Oh, okay, here we go. Top 7. Hold on, let me go. I don't know. I think they were surprised. Oh, that's fine. I don't think it's putting her on the spot. She has lots of stuff to read. What are it called? Top 7. Okay. Oh, this is we're gonna watch this. Yeah, I know. And actually, Oomph, your reading of Fetch War was really good. I it would be nice. I would love to also review some of your threads of stuff, but I would probably need you to help me interpret. That's all. That's all. Okay, we're gonna watch this. Gal shared it. It's gonna be a nice little 4-minute enjoyable. Hopefully we don't get killed. All right, here we go. Okay, I should did I undo that? Oh, what? I can do that. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let me do this. Oh no. Come back. Okay.
The fastest response times in the paramotor industry by sacrificing sleep and social life. Bring that to you. That service is guaranteed.
Paramotor training and sale.
At Backcountry PPG on Instagram, or call Trevor directly right here, right now. Now, the top moment of every month of 2023 in no particular order besides chronologically, coming at you.
Oh, it's not the Burning Man one? Okay. This is pretty cool.
In January, I filmed my short film Departure with my buddies at the Salton Sea, and it was such a fun project.
Oh, here. I have it, Gal. I have it. Hold on. I mean, we'll watch this, but I'll get to his Burning Man.
Not only was filming everything with everyone fun, but some of the shots I got are truly some of my favorites.
Right? Thank you, Pepper. Enough with the mustaches.
And in January,
I'm not.
that was my favorite
I'm going to be
moment.
honest with you. I'm not like.
In February, we have 3 topics. Number 1, my trip to the Middle East.
This guy is not that. You're right. I understand what you're saying. Okay. I'm going to go to the Burning Man one. I know which one you're talking about. Judson Green. I know. I am not like, I'm not into like men with super long hair. I love bald men. Like bald men is my thing, but I'm just not into like, I mean, I suppose I would be if you fall in love. Your husband wants to buy one now. Oh no. No. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now we're cooking. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you some good entertainment here. Here we go. Here we go. All right, here we go. Ready? You don't need to read Charlotte's book. What is his book? What's his book? Project 25. Dave Charlotte's book. What is his book again? Now I can't remember. Oh, I do. Yeah, good facial hair. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Oh, yeah, no, I know. I know. Okay, let's do this.
This is bad. We're at Burning Man, but it's not dusty and windy how it's supposed to be. The dry lake bed is rehydrating. Holy. That is obscene.
No, Jim. Oh, God. The porn stash.
Tens of thousands of people are being told to shelter in place at the popular Burning Man festival because they are literally stuck in the mud. They're trapped.
Situation at Burning Man.
Enormous sea of mud.
Hey, good morning. You know, this is quite the emergency.
Festival organizers are telling those attending to shelter.
Have been told to conserve food and water.
Burning Man Festival, redubbed Muddy
Oh,
Man.
he's at Burning Man. He's a Burning Man.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
It's currently 9:44 a.m. in front of the man on Saturday, which it's supposed to burn tonight.
Are they surprised?
I don't think it's gonna burn. There's a strange, like, dystopian feeling out here, like Burning Man paused in time. There's bikes everywhere. People are just out, and the biggest thing is it's completely silent. There's no music. There's always music.
Also, the media people have been flying drones, and I don't have the drone permit. I have the
This
foot
doesn't
permit.
look fun at all.
Bikes are by far the most common mode of transportation in Black Rock City and have been rendered useless as a mode of transportation. So next to basically every lamppost, there is abandoned bikes laid up waiting for their owners to come retrieve them at a later date. This is known as an art car or a mutant vehicle at Burning Man. Generally, they'll roll around Deep Playa and play music, and a lot of people will follow them around. And there's hundreds of them, all stuck from like this one, a couple hundred
Look
feet
at how
from
stuck it
town
is.
to several miles out on Deep Playa with no way to recover them right now. These people jacked theirs up. So
I'm
they
so
didn't sink
sorry.
into the mud, which was smart of them.
A friend of mine just texted me. I heard you guys are in a national state of emergency.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
So Burning Man's a national state of emergency?
Supposedly on the outside, in the default world, we are in a national state of emergency. I'm freaking out.
I think they're delayed, obviously.
Burning Man's canceled.
We are in Black Rock City, reporting live from the state of emergency in Nevada.
What's your name?
I'm Dan Sakles. I'm from Mountain View, and I was part of the burn the second year on the playa. And I was consecutively here through 96, and then I took a 28-year hiatus, and I'm back.
How do you feel about your first year back?
Well, it's the new era of Burning Man. I'm from the original tribe. I'm part of Cacophony Society, so I was part of the origin of Burning Man. There were 250 people here when I first came here.
And how do you feel about what's happening right now? This state of emergency.
Well, it's just a state of emergency. It's the worst conditions I've ever experienced on the playa. One thing that's remarkable. Catch this. What we're experiencing right now harkens more back to the original Burning Man than the grandiose, over-the-top lights and spectacle. It makes Burning Man such an attractive festival or event. The way we are hunkering down is closer to what Burning Man was.
Thank
Come
you.
on, let's be honest. This sucks. It's no fun getting everything wet and having to protect everything. But the conversations that I'm having with people, we're all like experiencing sort of duress together.
Yeah,
it sort
100%.
of opens things up.
They are-
It strips you
hi,
down,
Catherine,
you're
how are
naked,
you?
and
They
that's
are
more
going to
like
end up-
the intimacy of what Burning Man was that I didn't quite encounter.
Is that what's happening here? We're having
the days before this inundation.
Get that shit in your vagina? No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
National state of emergency. What's up with this, dude?
Whatever you want with it.
Dick on a stick. What's been the most Burning Man thing that's happened to you in the past 24 hours?
I had a really fun night last night. Got to perform at Camp Question Mark, get dance, and then I got to throw my bike in an art car and drive around in an art car through like the mist and the dust storm and a little bit of raindrop.
This is great. I'm actually happy to see this gal because I'm actually happy that they're having a good
Were you
time.
invited to perform on stage? Are you a dancer?
I am a fire spinner.
Could you spin your umbrella?
I'm a fire spinner. Watch me. I'm a fire spinner.
Okay, one more. What's your panda's name?
My panda's name is Mr. Slinky.
What's the significance of that to you?
It's just his name.
These actually are my
It's
people.
right now.
I actually
so
would
trending,
probably buy
like
from
on
here.
Twitter, Burning Man's a national state of emergency.
Oh yeah, really?
I would actually
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%
So we are stuck here. We will have to wait to save food, save water, and wait for the storm
What about
to get
weed?
over.
Do you have enough water and food?
I think so.
What's your name?
Alex.
Alex Judson. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Nice to meet you, buddy.
I look. Okay, now these people, I kind of like these people.
Oh, my name is Eowyn.
Is this your car?
No, it's not. I'm just climbing it.
How was it on top?
It was amazing. It was bouncy.
Did it feel like a national state of emergency?
Definitely not. Well, I think Burning Man burners really make the best of things. Like we're already like out here pretty prepared, and this just like brought everyone together as a community. Like it definitely brought my camp together. The rain just like brought a different kind of chaos and extreme to this entire festival.
I
Last
like
year
these
it was
people
like 50
better than
degrees,
the Coachella.
and this year it's raining and
I like this
flooding,
people better than
and it's
Coachella.
beautiful. I was able to stay out in the sun longer because of the clouds, and it was like it's cool, and I could dance longer. It's a gift. Every part of this is a gift.
What's been the most Burning Man thing to happen
I
to
like
you
her.
this burn?
This is my first burn.
Oh, well,
I
happy
think I
first
kinda
burn. I
like
should have
these
asked you.
people.
No worries.
Maybe
The
I need
flow
to go to Burning Man.
of Burning Man is beautiful. Like, I started the night out climbing the cube and ended out at a sound car trapped by the rain and the wind and the dust, and it was exactly where I wanted to be. I was with beautiful people.
I could
and
imagine it,
perfect.
actually.
So you were on playa when it hit.
Oh yeah.
No, I
How did you
should
get back?
go, J-Ram. These are my people.
We just got back. We had really prepared the
I
day
thought it was a
before because we
bunch of
knew it was
I mean,
going to
I don't know,
rain. So
these
we had like
people are
trenched
probably
around our camp and made sure everything was up off the ground and got a good crew. You got to have a good crew out here.
Where should we go to talk to the next people?
That tree.
You think there's some good people under that tree?
I think there's some good people everywhere. I think that people really need to focus on the community aspect of Burning Man and how people are banding together and pooling their resources and helping everyone else out and making sure people are okay and checking in. That's what we should be focusing on. And if there are negatives, we have to figure out how we can do better in the future.
I don't
There's
know.
a tree in the middle of the desert, and
think
someone
that-
has climbed it.
They are my people. These are my people. Look at the art too. The art is my vibe.
Currently standing between two planets and in front of the Earth.
I like
Well, did you know Burning Man's a national state of emergency right now? It's all over the internet. It's like national news.
Because of 80,000 people is stranded here.
Well, that's pretty
So
cool.
Burning Man is a national state of emergency right now.
Really?
So we're filming. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
This is my first burn. This place is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And the fact that I'm here with Carl Mahalik is as my sponsor, as my
Carl
mentor for this project, it's been absolutely a joy.
What was the inspiration behind it?
Inspiration is
PRV.
basically this is day art and night art. It's exactly for burn. This is my 7th burn, so I know what to look for. This is our buddy Roger.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
his
Roger. I'm the
first burn.
silent partner, I guess.
Yeah.
How do you? You're from Alaska.
We're all from
Yeah,
Alaska.
all from Alaska.
Did you build this in Alaska?
No, that's built in Europe from Czech Republic.
Oh wow.
We transported over here and set it up.
How do you think that the rain actually positively impacted Burning Man?
Look at people start walking finally.
Yes.
And helping each other. That's a main thing. They helping. If somebody have a problem, they helping each other, and no more driving electric bikes, and people was forced to walk. What Burning Man should do, like one day will be bike riding stop.
Do you feel stranded?
Man.
No, I don't feel
I
stranded
mean,
at all.
yeah, I don't feel stranded. Why would you? I mean, this is what we're here for, right?
All right, man.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a good
Happy
night.
birthday to you.
Happy burn to you. White trash superstars still going, even though it's a national state of emergency.
Welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest.
What's going on there right now?
You ever do pottery?
Yes.
You know the stuff you put stuff together with?
Like the slurry?
Yeah, there's like 6 or 8 inches of that most places.
More than 73,000 people are trapped in the mud at Burning Man in Nevada due to major flooding. A national emergency has been declared and the festival has officially closed.
Mike's got BMI on in the trailer. It says gates closed. If you try and drive on the roads, you'll get a ticket. More rain's coming.
September 3rd at 9 a.m. From what I'm hearing right now, the gate is not going to be open until tomorrow in the middle to later part of the day. I just felt really called to make a piece of media about this, even though it has nothing to do with what I normally make content about, because I'm here on the ground. And after seeing what was portrayed in all of the news and actually being here on the ground and seeing like the actual burner community coming together, people helping each other out, people making the most of the situation that they're in instead of getting stuck and not just physically but mentally in the state of this is bad that we're stuck here. It's just a really strange thing that I witnessed and I've been a part of and felt really obligated to make a piece of media about it. I also think Trent Palmer is flying around the event. Pretty sure that's his plane.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot I muted myself. Okay, I love that guy. I think that guy is so fucking funny. Mute. Sorry. I know. That guy's so funny though. I like him. So let's watch another video of his because I think I found one gal where he is flying. Sorry, I'm not muted now. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not very good at this. Okay, this. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully that helps clear up Burning Man. Thank you. Really?
So I just noticed that my MacFly has 30 hours on it, and it's been my main motor for
I agree
30 hours since May. And I figure that's probably a good time to give you a more in-depth review on how I feel about that particular motor, which has been quite good. So let's get it out of the truck and we'll walk around it and then go fly it, and then I'll tell you. So here she is, my lovely MacFly that I've been flying for the past 3 months-ish. She's got 30 hours on her. I just want to run through things I like about it, and then we'll go up in the air, things that have happened that I'm not such a fan of. So first of all, the biggest thing with the MacFly that I think everyone talks about is torque compensation and just the way it flies. That's my favorite part about it. I think the rest of it, it's built nice. There's some things that I have a little bit of a problem with, but the magic of this for me is just how well it flies. Full throttle, straight up, no torque. I did fly it without the carbon fins on it, and it still flies really well, but it doesn't have that really, really straight magic. It's close, but it's not quite as good. The harness is also really comfortable. Like the way this cups you is also something I really like. It's very comfortable. Okay, so the T-strap on the Soul Rev harness, I don't mind it. It's taken a little bit to get used to get into the seat is a little bit different. It's not hard, but it's just different than most other paramotors.
What a car seat?
When we first got it, we were excited about the speed bar stows on the harness. I honestly think they're in a pretty bad spot.
Really?
It's
Oh
really
my
hard
God.
to get them to work in the air or on the ground, so I end up just not stowing my speed bar most of the time.
This one's
I
kind
would
of
rather
boring. He
have
just
them on the
reviewed
end
it.
of the swing
Oh,
arm
you
where
watched all of them?
There's two straps here.
Wait,
I don't
this-
know
what's that mean?
why, but the secondary strap, so there's one that's kind of on this hinge that pulls
I want to see him
this
fly.
flap up, and there's another one that just lifts the whole seat up. The one that lifts the whole seat up always goes loose on me. I gotta tighten that sometimes. Oh, I do love this pocket here, right here on the side though. I can stuff my selfie stick in it and not have to sit on my selfie stick. It works fantastic. Talk about the netting real quick. All right, I
Oh,
think
the
the
other leg?
netting looks really cool, but I don't think it's really that protective overall. I think all it's doing is just kind of holding the
Hold on. Hold on. He, what now? Wait. This is his thing. Top 7 moments. Wait, where was it? I had it. Where was the top 7 moments of 23? Oh, wait. Oh, views of the street. Okay. Where is it? Okay, that's fine. Fine. This one, right, Gal?
Jack, and it was some of the best dunes.
Okay, we'll go back.
It was filming everything with everyone fun, but some of the shots I got are truly some of my favorites. And in January, that was my favorite moment. In February, we have three topics. Number 1, my trip to the Middle East, Saudi Arabia and Qatar. In Qatar, I did some dune soaring with my buddy Lojack, and it was some of the best dune soaring I've ever done. I had such a fun time just seeing their culture and flying in such a objectively incredibly beautiful place. Moving over to Saudi Arabia, we flew in Bajda with my buddy Mo, Miroslav of Scout Aviation, and Shihab. This was some of the most humbling flying I've ever done. These rocks were incredibly tall, and they made us feel very small. And again, I filmed some of my favorite flying footage to this date.
Wow. That is fucking badass.
Third thing in February was the
Hi,
Arizona
Sam.
Flying
How are you?
Circus.
Good
It's part
morning.
Burning Man, part fly-in, part Wild West, and just a celebration of everything paramotoring and aviation. I got to meet a bunch of rad people and had a great time for 4 days. In March, I think my favorite flying moment was flying at Torrey Pines Gliderport in San Diego, California. I flew my Gin Explorer 2 and my Flare Mustache, and flying there's just gorgeous. It's right on the ocean. I've never done any coastal soaring before. The location's amazing. There's a restaurant. I just found
I've
it
been
to
on
be
an ultralight.
fun. I had a good time. Now, April was a weird month for me. It was a month of transition and renewal and new stuff going on in my life. And honestly, I didn't really do a lot of flying, so I can't think of one flying moment that did stand out to me.
Not a
But what did stand out to me was editing my documentary from Saudi Arabia.
This desert is different.
One less
As soon as I set my
boogaloo.
eyes on her, chills rolled down my
I'll take
spine.
it. Well,
These rocks
that
are
you
ancient.
know of.
The wind has shaped them into a reflection of itself over hundreds of millions of years.
They definitely have more money.
I'm happy to say it performed really well on YouTube, and I'm very, very proud of it. And I'm happy to have shared that with you. It was a cool experience to edit that whole thing. And it took a while, and it was worth the payoff.
Oh, that's pretty.
In May, I can think of 2.5 things that really stood out to me. Number one was getting the camera I'm filming this on right now and taking it down to Hanksville and filming my favorite flying footage to date. Just the quality, shooting it in 60 frames a second, 4K on this Sony FX30.
What is that?
It's just glorious footage.
Oh my
and secondly was getting my new Mac fly. I don't have it here with me right now, but it is my favorite paramotor. Unboxing it was a joy, and it was just cool to be on a new piece of equipment that I was genuinely and still am genuinely stoked on. In June, my favorite moment by far was going down to Hanksville with my buddy Andrew Muse and filming with Project Airtime. We had a wild time, and there's one moment where I was flying sideways up a berm next to Andrew in the Bronco. There's dust everywhere. There's dirt bikes. That moment was my favorite moment, I believe, in June of 2023. What a wild experience.
That's really beautiful.
And finally, July. Here, right now, in Washington, I've just enjoyed the heck out of flying here. It's kind of like East Coast flying, but with a Western twist. There's a giant volcano behind me. We've done a lot of awesome flying by the lake, river runs. I'm building my school bus and having a great time enjoying the lovely summer weather in Washington. And those were the best moments of this year per month so far.
Yay! Thank you very much. That's really cool. Oh, you know what? I should put the link to his channel. I'll put the link to his channel in there. Hold on just a minute. Hold on. Just a minute. Just a minute. Bing, bing, bing. Here's the channel. Oh my God. My nose is running. There. There's the channel. That is so cool, gal. That's great. I really love that. I really love that. It was really nice. That'll be fun to watch. I can't wait to watch the desert ones. Those are so amazing. I love it. God, I really love it. I want to see what is. I'm looking at his videos. This is so cool. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to watching that. Well, kids, what a good morning we've had. Lots of reading and yeah, random find when trying to figure out what was going on at Burning Man. But a good find. I'm not sure. Yeah, I agree with you, baby. I'm not sure. Yeah, I love watching that kind of stuff, though. I do. I really enjoy it. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun to watch. Anyway. Okay, kids. Well, I'm about to send you off on your Is it Monday? Yeah, I'm about to send you off on your Monday. Make sure you eat some barbecue today. I don't know. What do people do on Labor Day? Do they barbecue? I'm not really sure what happens on Labor Day. I'm going to be cleaning my house. Is that what happens on Labor Day? Do you clean your house? Anyway, all right. I will see you guys Wednesday for midweek trash heap. I'm not sure what time, and if there's something that happens in between, then I'm sure I'll go live or whatever. So just make sure you hit the bell. And thanks again for coming. I really grill meat. I would like to grill some meat. I don't have a grill yet. I never did get that. Yeah. Laundry. Yeah, I could do that too. I have a feeling I'm going to spend my day avoiding doing all of those things and sitting on my ass and taking a nap. Rights to honor Eugene Debs and 3 noted anarchists. There you go. There you go. That's a good one. Proletariat of the world unite. I agree. Well, thank you. Thank you all for coming. Really appreciate the brain trust that is this chat. It is, it pales. No other chat even approaches the smart level of this chat. So thank you so much. You have 2 grills. It's too hot. You're welcome, Ted. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Muskie. Thanks, baby. It's really good to see everyone too. Thanks for stopping in. It's so nice to see everyone. So yeah, make sure you follow everybody. But thanks again. And I just want to say to Tina, I don't know if Tina's still here, but Tina is how we started our show today, with her amazing thread breaking down the Trump New York deposition that will give us some clues into what's happening. And then we talked a lot about Mark Meadows. But Tina is really one of the most amazing researchers on Twitter. So I have her thing is linked. But please follow her and all the Gal Squad. Gal, Tina, Clay, Jay Rance. They're just the most amazing humans on the planet. Yes, let me do the links. So on Twitter, it's I think that's what it is. Wait a minute. Let me go make sure. It's like a lot of letters, and then it's a lot of letters. It's a lot of letters and a lot of letters. Where is it? Okay, I'm done. TRC. Okay, I was right. All right, this is Tina. I'm on all caps. I'm sorry. Tina, and then Clayberg is Clay. And then I think is yours like, yeah. Nope, that was wrong. I did it wrong. And not last but not least, I don't know which, yeah. And then good old Gal Suburban. I don't know. Yeah. There's other handles too. Let me know if I should put those other handles up. But I don't want to tell tales out of school. Anyway, yeah. And I'll probably be on Spaces because I think Pam's getting settled. So we'll probably get back on Spaces. And yeah, ooh, lots of good. Oh, actually, what am I talking about? Wednesday. Oh, yes, this one's very good to follow too. This one is very good to follow. Okay, yeah, follow that one too. So yeah. What was I saying? I don't remember. Wednesday. Wednesday is the fucking arraignment. Wednesday's the arraignment, and we get to see it. So I'm gonna be on early Wednesday morning. and we'll watch whatever we can of the arraignments and stay as long as we need to. And then Friday's the lounge, but then also Friday there's another thing happening. Oh, it may be that the all of the 18, well, all the 19 in Fulton County, all of the 19 in Fulton County. And then, were you joking? Okay. And then Friday is when I think that's the last day or something, or they're going to release the grand jury report from Atlanta, I think. So I'm waiting for that too, because I'd like to go live on that and then just read it as we go together, but do it live. Okay. So there's too much Lolo. There's a lot of Lolo going on. I understand. Please don't get sick of me. I'll try to be funny. I'll try to make it entertaining. I'll try to clean my room, you know, that kind of stuff. Anyway. All right. I adore you. Fingers crossed. Wait, fingers ahead of mind. Oh. I know what you mean. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, so I will see you all very much soon. And I adore you. And yeah. See you later. Thanks for coming.